And we are live. What's good, people? It's your man DL Saint. How y'all doing? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast. Man, happy hump day, man. I hope y'all Wednesday is going good. Remember, y'all didn't have to work on Monday. Well, some people didn't have to work on Monday. Right? We had maybe one off of one of our gigs. Everybody's working so hard these days. Man, it's hard to get a legit day off, isn't it? Because we have so many gigs. We got our main job, got our side job, our part-time job, and we got our side hustle. Everybody's doing everything these days, man. So I hope y'all Wednesday is going well. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about some more manosphere type stuff. You know what I mean? I've been on that kick a little bit for the past couple episodes. Then later on this evening, 6 o'clock, we're gonna be talking about what happened in Ohio. With the ex-girlfriend, a man whose ex-girlfriend father had to fire on him with a weapon because he was trying to break into the house to get to the girl. Definitely want to talk about that. Sad thing. And that was for Candace. Candace M wanted to talk about that, so I promised her, like, all right, we'll do it. We'll make that happen. And y'all know I try to make it happen when I can. So that's tonight at 6. Right now we're going to talk about blue pill, red pill, black pill, Tate pill. Is that becoming a thing? Because, you know, I think they were, I think mainstream media, I think the social media giants were wrong to ban Andrew Tate. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think they were wrong to do it. And I think that what they're trying to do actually backfired on them a little bit. You know what I mean? I really do. I think they're going to come out of this wondering. They're going to come out of this wondering, you know, what have we done? Maybe they've made him more powerful. They certainly haven't made people stop talking about him, that's for sure. So it's kind of crazy. They're going to come out of this because all they did was make Tate look at him as like,
you know what? That makes me mad.
And that's what's going on. That's what's going on. You know, like, and then Tate's doing his thing, going to Rumble, got more people talking about him. Everyone, you know, every podcaster in the biz right now is talking about him from all facets, from the gamers to the to the manosphere, to the, you know what I mean, mainstream media world. They're all talking about Tate. Is what it is. But I mean, it's just the last thing they should have last thing they should have done was cancel him. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. Marco Ravel, how you doing? Welcome straight for Cape Town. That's what's up, man. Welcome. I'm glad you are here. I hope you are well over there. That's for you, bro. Made men aware. Yeah, for sure. That's what's going on. So there are things going on, right? There are a lot of moving parts with this. And it doesn't begin and end with an Andrew Tate. It doesn't begin and end with the manosphere. It doesn't begin and end with, you know, feminism. All this stuff is kind of coming into play. All of it. And yeah, man, it's crazy. There's no other way to put it, bro. Like this is crazy. So we're gonna definitely be looking at this as we go. So yeah. Act Ozzy's in the house. What's good, brother? Welcome. Brother Marco, it's awesome this side, bro. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a lot to learn, man, and be careful. Like it's a whole lot of stuff out there right now, man. This side is crazy, but you know, you got to be thoughtful, bro. You got to be thoughtful. If you're going to listen to me, man, I'm telling you, it's about one thing, bro. It's all about the
think tank. Arch, nothing gets past the old think tank. Nothing.
You got to take this information, man. You got to filter through your old think tank, man. You got to make sure it makes sense. You got to make sure it's balanced in your own mind. You know what I mean? We encourage you to be your own person, to be your own thinker, man. You ain't got to like or dislike anything that anyone tells you, man. But, you know, put it through your own think tank. You know what I mean? Brother Act Ozzy's in the house. What's good, bro? Welcome. So, yeah, we're going to get into this, man. So I had Jay Swans on a few days ago, and we did that Manosphere episode where we were talking about what is the Manosphere, and what is RP. We had a pretty good show, man. We had a lot of engagement, a lot was going on in the chat. Had a lot of people jump on the stream. It was a great show. But the one thing I did not get a chance to do, I did not get a chance to talk about the red pill, the black pill, the blue pill. I didn't get to talk about that. And there's a lot going on, with these different pills and whatnot and what have you. There's a lot going on. So I did find a video. We had the video queued up for that show. We just didn't get a chance to get to it. The conversations took us to a different place. It was a great conversation. So we went with it. And that's what I love about YouTube, right? We're not committed to a script. We can come off script and get back on script and do what we got to do to get the best product out to y'all, man, like to get the best conversation going. So what I wanted to do is take a moment to go back and actually react to Wheat Waffle's video. It's entitled "The Blue Pill, Red Pill, and Black Pill Explained." And I thought it was pretty good. This is the second one he has done. He did a different one that was a little bit longer, but this one is more in depth because those are the three colors that I deal with. And then you have people who have all these variants, the white pill, the purple pill, the gray pill, and all this kind of stuff, right? It gets crazy, right? It gets real crazy to understand what's going on. So this particular video kind of puts it on a scale. And shout out to Wheat Waffle. Go over there and check him out. He'll tell you himself. His content is closer to the black pill world. You know what I mean? It talks about facial structure. It talks about how women mate select. It talks about what they're looking for, and I'm talking about females when like physically what they're looking for, what they want from a guy, financially what they want from a guy, with his frame, and it kind of talks about a lot of stuff. You watch and it's like it's kind of like a Debbie Downer kind of thing, but I get where they're coming from. So we'll start off with that. And then we'll move into some other things. I just kind of been watching some stuff on YouTube, and there's some more clips out there that I was able to grab. Not just clips, but just like want to react to some things that I saw during interviews on Saucecast, on Your Mom's House, and on Fresh and Fit. And all this is revolving around Andrew Tate, and it also revolves around the masculine message, right? That's kind of what we're going to talk about today. So let's kick it off with the whole red pill, blue pill stuff, right? Let's kind of kick it off into that. And let's see. Brother Act Ozzy's black pill is the coward pill. Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Like the whole black pill movement, it seems like guys just gave up. These are the guys who want to be the victim mindset. Yeah, I agree with you there. If that's indeed what you're saying, these are the guys who just, well, I'm short and I'm never going to be able to get a girl, or, I don't have a square chin or whatever. These guys, it seems like they look for excuses to run and hide. So I'm with you on that, bro. And brother acts like exactly. I'm with you on that. You got to work with what you got. You got to push through. Period. I'm fat and I'm never going to get a girl. Well, don't be fat. I mean, that's an easy fix. And, as far as what to do, get healthy, eat right, stop eating fast food, walk, go to the gym. You know what I mean? Do stuff like that. You can lose the weight. You know what I mean? And, people always say, well, it's a medical condition. I have a thyroid problem. Like almost 50% of Americans are obese. It's like 43%, something like that, obese. All of them got thyroid problems? All of them? Come on now. That's not the case. That's not the case, man. The point, the thing is people get big and it's hard. It's easy to lose weight. It's hard. It's really hard. I'm sorry. It's easy to gain weight. It's really hard to lose it. You got to work to get it off. You don't have to work to get it on. It's real easy to just sit there and eat Cheetos and drink sodas, you know what I mean? And eat, fast food. You're going to get big. You know what I mean? So, but it's hard to get that weight off. And the black pill guys are the guys that seem to be victim mindsets and all that. So we're going to watch this, man, and you guys can tell me what you think. I did put I made it look a little ticker for my Cash App and stuff like that, because people keep asking me to put that up because they want to support. and I appreciate all those who do. But the best way to support me now is to watch videos and share videos to get the watch hours up. They're up more than double the watch time in the past 30 days. Right now, it's up big time. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. You know what I mean? Brother Marco, there's only one pill. Like Morpheus said, it's the red pill. But like you said, it must make sense. Yeah, it has to make sense, bro. It has to make sense. You young men coming up right now, man, this is a critical time for y'all. It has to make sense. There's, you know what I mean? There's a lot being said out there, bro, that just don't make sense to me. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to do my best to put this information out there. I'm going to be as fair and unbiased as I can. But, you know, whenever I do these shows, especially about Andrew Tate, you'll hear me say multiple times, I met the guy. I think I like the guy. I don't have a problem with the dude. You know what I mean? Do I agree with everything he says? No. Do I agree with some of the stuff he says? Yes, absolutely. You know what I mean? Do I see what's going on? Yes, absolutely. So we're going to get into that now. So let's talk about the pills, man. Let's see what's going on. So here we go. This is Wheat Waffles.
Be breaking down things even further by plotting each of these on a continuum. And that there aren't just 3 thought processes, but there are in fact 5 distinct belief systems which each have their own interpretation of trying to explain why women are attracted to the guys that they are attracted to. This is the dating ideologies continuum, or in other words, the pills. So let's first take a look at the extremes of the graph.
And you see right off, man, like people, most of the guys who get in, like find themselves in the manosphere, they find themselves going down these different paths, the red pill, the blue pill, the black pill, the gray pill, the white pill, the like my man Jay Swan says, the banana pill. They go down these, they wind up slipping on the banana pill, man, all this stuff, right? It sounds so technical. It sounds like so, you know, like someone sat down, like they had some sort of council of Nicaea and they came up with these, you know, ideologies or whatever. But these are just thoughts. And some of these thoughts, they in order for people to make their conversations easier, they kind of collect them in these different pills. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So it's hard to have these conversations if you don't understand this, and this would be like a good basis for the conversation. Sister Candace is in the house. What's good, love? What's good? Always good to see you. Yo, Sister Candace, we have that Ohio shooting video coming up tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got it. Thumbnails out. It's been out. And that's for you, love. We're going to talk about that. Again, tragic events that occurred and it did not have to happen. But right now we're talking about the different pills. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. So here we go.
We'll start off with the blue pill. Now, the blue pill is effectively made up of all of these happy and hopeful ideas. It's optimistic, it's pleasant, it's wishful, it's dreamlike. Pretty much everything to do with positivity falls under the umbrella of the blue pill. In terms of advice for men, they will tell you to be kind, be thoughtful, be caring, and yet despite saying these things, they will then also tell you to just be yourself, which is kind of a contradiction to these first 3 pieces of advice. Like this catchphrase, the blue pill also comes with several other feel-good catchphrases, including beauty is in the eye of the beholder, everything will work out in the end, age is just a number, when you stop looking, the right person will arrive, it's just not your time right now, and this one's one of my favourites, there's somebody out there for everyone.
So yeah, I'm sure anyone who's watching this has heard some, if not all of those phrases. I have heard them all. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Yes, I have told people that. Everything works out in the end. I've heard it, but I never believed it. Everything works out if you make it work out. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a shitty end. You know what I mean? It just, everything works out in the end, right? Yeah, tell that to the people in Pompeii who are still, you know, frozen in ash there, right? That didn't work out pretty good in the end, did it? Not for them. Age is just a number. It's a number that gets you in trouble if you go below a certain age, guys. Right? So you better, age is just a number. That's that R. Kelly thinking, man. When you stop looking, the right person will arrive. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. You can't find the right person because you're looking. Just stop looking. Okay. It's just not your time right now. I've never heard that, to be honest with you. That's the one that wasn't, you know, common to me. It makes sense. There's someone out there for everyone. You hear that all the time. All this under blue pill. When people talk about the Disney fairy tale, this is what they mean. This is all stuff that you find in the movies, right? Snow White, you know what I mean? Hitch, any romantic comedy that you've ever seen in your life. All these principles are within that romantic comedy. Any of the Disney fairy tale movies, you know what I mean? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Mulan, you know what I mean? What's another one? Little Mermaid. That's what Disney built that empire on. These are all the feel good stuff, right? This is all great. You know, be happy, optimistic, wishful. There's nothing wrong with all that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you need a counterbalance to that. You did. You have to have a counterbalance. Brother Jason is in the house. What's good, bro? What's good? Welcome. You see what we talking about. So this is all blue pill stuff right here. Let's continue.
So pretty much the blue pill is everything that you would have been taught by your mum when you was a child, and everything else you would have been taught in cartoons and Disney films. It is these feel-good, idealistic ideas. So that's the blue pill on the one end. Now looking at the other extreme, which is the black pill. And this is where I would say the majority of my beliefs align with. In fact, I would place myself on the graph right about here. So not completely at the edge, but a few spaces inwards. Now the black...
And like he says, he's black pill. I'm not that far. I do believe in a counterbalance, right? That there has to be balance. And I do believe in that, but I wouldn't personally place myself anywhere near the black pill ideologies or whatever. But those people who do, I ain't mad at you. You know what I mean? Brother Grios, what's good? What's purple pill? I heard of it recently. What's next? Rainbow pill. Yeah, you got rainbow pill, banana pill. Purple pill is supposed to be a mix between red and blue. So when you got those guys who are like, well, I'm kind of red pill, but I'm also kind of blue pill, so I'm purple pill. That's what I believe that comes from. I haven't found any definitive definition, right? But I think that's where it comes from. Someone was talking about white pill in the chat the other day. I don't know what white pill is. So I stick to these three: red, blue, and black. Find it odd that there's different colors of pills. Yeah, it's just people in the in that world that are just, it's just who they are, bro. You got to understand that most of the people who find themselves in the manosphere are nerdy types anyway, especially the guys who are really looking for the most help. These are the guys who have been denied any kind of sexual access, any Foxy Brown their whole life. We're talking about these virgin type dudes, the nerd dudes, the dudes who bought all in on the, you know, like the blue pill stuff, like the stuff your mom told you, just like you said a moment ago. You know, everyone gets a trophy. They've been told you're going to get a trophy. It's just, she's out there. Someday your princess will come, as opposed to the song, Someday My Prince Will Come. This is that blue pill thinking. And these guys get hit in the face, bro. And they come running, and they find themselves in the manosphere. And then they're getting hit, you know, with the brutal truth. Like, bro, it don't work that way. You got to do the work, man. Like when they hear stuff to say women don't build, they wait at the finish line and they smash the winners. Not all women, but there are a lot of women out there who do. You can't be mad when Myron Gaines talks about the candy store. Like most guys never get into the candy store. Guys are trying to get in. How do I get into the candy store? You got to put in the work. You know what I mean? Brother Jason was like, he's a doomer, talking about wheat waffles. I can see that. I mean, there's a lot of gloom and doom and his stuff. But again, I like to sift through it and find the stuff that means something to me. I'll listen to everything, and I don't agree with a lot of the stuff, but it's like, okay, I can see where he's coming from on that. Yeah, I think he's off base on this one here, but I sift through it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I sift through things, and I'm like, oh, shit, there ain't nothing here, and I'll move on, right? That's me. And that's what I encourage people to do on this platform, bro. Y'all know what's it all about, people. What's it about? It's about the
Think tank. Arch. Nothing gets past the old think tank. Nothing.
That's what it's about for me anyway. Brother Doug is in the house. What's good? Purple pill is when you have red pill knowledge, but you still enter or maintain relationships. Okay. I'll have to take that because I don't know what it is. Brother Jason, purple pill is someone who is red but wants to leave the blue life. Okay. It's a red pill guy who, all right, I see that. You know what I mean? I'll talk more about this when we get towards the end of this video. Brother Griot's DL saying, why do you think some guys shoot a school nowadays versus back then wouldn't happen despite some men feeling the way some guys do now? I think what's going on with that, and Andrew Tate, he touched on this as well. And this is one of the things I really agree with him. And brother Jay Swans and I talked about this on our video we did about men versus males. I think those guys who lose control of their emotions are those guys who go out and do horrific shit. Like you look at what's going on in Canada right now. You got two men who went out, and they attacked a bunch of people with knives and they killed a lot of folks. They hurt a lot of folks. Those men, in my opinion, lost control of their emotions at some point along the way. There was something that happened with those guys. And and it's a societal thing. It's what's being taught. You got these guys going out here doing horrific stuff. You got these young men going out here arming themselves with high power rifles and going out here and doing horrific stuff. Right. A lot of that has to do with emotions, I believe. You let your emotions get away from you. We're going to be talking about that tonight, heavy at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be talking about that. What happened in Ohio was a guy who lost control of his emotions. It is really easy to lose control of your emotions. I've done it. You've done it. Everyone's done it. You will lose control of your emotions for an instant, and that can cost you dearly. Dearly. Prisons are full of men who lost control for a moment, did something, and they got to spend the rest of their life paying for it. So that's what I think it boils down to, brother. I think it boils down to that. We must, as men, control our emotions. Like Jay Swan said, a man who has lost control of his emotions is a weapon, not just a weapon, but like a nuke. Whereas a man who is in control of his emotions is more like a surgical weapon. Like if he needs a smart munition, he'd do what he needs to do, not because it's emotional or it's emotionally motivated, but it's because it's the best move on the board. He's doing it because it has to be done. That's a different way of moving as a man. So that's my thoughts on that, bro. And it's because, dude, I'm telling you, man, guns have always been around America. I had my first weapon. I had access to my first weapon when I was a teen. I never took that weapon to school. I didn't have to. And if I took it to school, I didn't take it to school just for any old body because I'm mad some girl didn't let me take it to the prom. If I took my weapon with me because I felt I needed it because of stuff I was dealing with from the streets. And that was as a young kid. And the dudes I came up with were all the same. Right? The wildest dudes in our crew were the dudes who led by their emotions. And most of that, there was like frustration and anger. Those two emotions right there. That led to so many fights, so many people getting sucker punched. We call it stealing people. It was just so many issues came from behind the dudes who had emotional issues. The rest of us thought it through. Like, man, we ain't trying to go over here and catch this case if we don't have to. So I think it's imperative that young men understand that they have to control their emotions. Football coaches and my parents, my dad, and other men, experienced men in the neighborhood told me this. You got to keep your emotions under control, young cuzzo, or you're going to wind up in prison or dead. So that's what I think it is, man. I hope that answers your question. And I like the interaction back and forth in the chat. You know what I mean? Each one teach one. We got to do that as men, bro. Like, take these opportunities. One of the great things about YouTube, man, it allows us to come together. We got people from all over the world coming together and just having these discussions, man. And hopefully you can walk away with some knowledge. So let's continue.
Black pill is based on 3 fundamental ideas. All 3 of these ideas must be true for the black pill to hold up. If you only believe in 2 of these 3, then you are not black pilled. The first pillar is hypergamy. This means that women only want to date up in terms of value. So as a man, what do you bring to the table? And if what you bring to the table is less than what the woman brings, then she would have no reason to see you as a potential dating option. The second pillar is looks. The importance of looks in dating. And you've probably heard of the term leagues used before. So a guy might say, oh, that girl was out of my league. And this is usually referring to the 1 to 10 scale. So for example, if this guy approaches this girl and gets rejected, he might use the excuse afterwards, she was out of my league anyway. And the thing is, he might not realise it, but this is an indirect realisation of the black pill. He is stating that his looks was the main issue. And the final pillar of the black pill, and this is where quite...
Out of my league, I mean... I think that's more like Cope. Shout out to Destiny out there, big time blue pillar. You know what I mean? I discovered Destiny through Sneeko and Fresh and Fit, streamer, gamer guy. a thinker, a debater. Shout out to you, Destiny. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure we'll meet one day. I look forward to meeting you. That sounds like a cope kind of thing. When I used to hear that, oh, she's out of my league. And I ain't gonna lie to you, none of my dudes from the hood ever said some shit like that, ever. We never would vocalize it. We were just out here, we gonna shoot. We gonna shoot our shot. We gonna get at her. What's up? We gonna holler at her. You know what I mean? That's what we did. We gonna holler. And if it didn't work, we understood it was just a game. Chalk it up to the game, right? 'Cause that's our thing, man. We see her, we go up to her like, what's good, girl?
Holla, 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 holla.
That's what we did. If it worked, great. If it didn't work, all right, chalk it up to the game. Keep it moving. We never would sit there and try to justify failure. To me, that's too much. That's getting too close to a victim mindset. Like, nah, bro, she ain't out your league. There's no person, no woman on this planet that's out my league. I don't care. And they're like, oh, you're 6 feet and, you're successful and, you're not like fat and socially awkward and you don't live in your mom's basement. Man, I don't care. I don't care. You got to have that. You got to have that attitude, man. You have to understand especially when you're talking about dating, it's a numbers game, people. Right. And me and Jay Swans have told y'all this many times. And I'm going to tell you again, whenever I go into a room and I'm trying to holler at chicks, I start at the top. I find the finest woman in there. That's where I start. I'm going to holler at her and I'm going to work my way down in order. I'm starting with the 10s. I'm going to the 9s. I'm going to the 8s and so on. I never make it past 7. Never make it past 7 because women are watching you, man, and they're attracted to brave men. They're attracted to dudes who are courageous. And women don't, they might not say it out loud, but they understand how tough it is to walk across the room, talk to somebody and try to holler at them. They understand how hard it is to have a dude come and approach the whole group and try to holler at one chick. So I don't put that in there at all, bro. Like that's, to me, it's just, yeah, that sounds like, that's cope right there, bro. That's cope. Oh, she's out of my league. Man, that's crazy. Candace M, you miss 100% of your shots you don't take. Absolutely, you miss 100% of them. 100. Let's continue. Great point, by the way.
A few people end up disagreeing is inflexibility. So it is exceptionally difficult to move up in terms of your league. This is taken one step further because of the 7 genetic things that you cannot change about your looks. These are being short, having an ugly face, balding, having a bad frame, lack of inches, being old, and your ethnicity. And the acronym spells out sub 5, so it's nice and easy for you to remember.
Yeah, I don't buy that either, man. Anybody who buys this, man, you've just quit. You're a quitter. I know short dudes that had, man, mad dimes, short dudes, ugly dudes. I'm bald. You know what I mean? Dudes with frame. You know what I mean? Little dudes, little short D guys still getting it. You know what I mean? They might not get to hit the same chick multiple times, but guess what? They got multiple chicks they hitting one time. Same thing. They getting it. And even them dudes, women got toys, bro. Them guys that had that short D game, their toys that they would bring with the stuff that they could do, the other things they could do to bring pleasure to a woman, man, please, put them on top. Put them on top. You know what I mean? Veteran or old. Yeah, I'm an old dude and I'm bald. I don't care. I'm black. I've had all flavors, bro. All flavors. I haven't had Armenian yet. I have not had Armenian yet. Don't worry. In time, that will come. I just ain't come across any lately. And you know what I mean? I left LA. That's what I ain't in Glendale. You go to Glendale, you find some Armenian women. They are some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen on planet Earth. Wow. So I'm definitely not black pill. Just based on what he said already, now I don't believe in none of this. I believe in hypergamy. I believe women only want the best. You know what I mean? But that's it. Everything else, it's all bullshit.
Now, this last pillar is basically saying that these 7 things are your biggest obstacles and limitations in terms of improving your current situation. So that sums up the 2 extremes. And as I say, I place my beliefs right about here on the continuum.
Those are 2 extremes. Brother William, thanks for coming in, bro. I appreciate it. I know you got to go. I know y'all doing big things out there. Fresh and Fit Dallas, Cornerstone, making it happen. I'm looking forward to coming back out there. I'll be in Dallas, maybe by the end of this year. I'm looking at coming to Dallas, man. I'll keep y'all posted. You know what I mean? Some things I want to come out there and have a look at. But yeah, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. So yeah, black pill. So we got the blue pill. Those are the guys who's like Disney fairy tale. Everything's going to be great. Women are just dandy, you know, sugar spice, everything nice. You know what I mean? There's someone out there for you. You know what I mean? Someday when my boat comes in, that's blue pill. Black pill, all is lost. The sky's falling, chicken little. You know what I mean? If I wasn't born a certain height with a certain jawline and money and all this, then there's no way I'm ever going to get a girl. That's black pill. I'm so far away from that. So let's see what's in the middle.
I'd place ITV right at the very end. I don't think anyone can get more black pilled than this. And then I'd put Face and LMS just slightly right of me. Now moving on to the belief systems in the middle of the continuum. This is where you'll find your red pill ideas. Now when I made my first video, I bundled all of the red pill ideas into one. But after much thinking, it turns out there isn't just one red pill, but actually 3 red pills. I found many of the current red pill beliefs to be spread too far wide to be able to jumble them into one set of beliefs. And in fact, a lot of their ideas contradict each other. So the 3 main red pill belief systems are: number 1, the looks red pill, 2, the status and money red pill, and 3, the game red pill.
Okay, I see what he's doing here. He's kind of breaking it all. I throw them all together. I lump all that together into one category. But I know exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about the looks. There are guys out there like it's all about looks to them. They gotta, get plastic surgery or whatever, make their body look a certain way. That's the looks. Status and money red pill, which means, you're only gonna get on if you have status and money. There's some truth into that. You know what I mean? You look at someone like Fresh. That's my dude, Fresh. Not the most handsome guy on the planet, but he has a lot of money, has a lot of status, right? He parlays that into getting tons of women. And then you got game, right? You got game. So my thing is status, money, looks, none of that means nothing if you don't have game. Fresh has game. So the problem is a lot of guys who get this money and all this kind of stuff, they lead with their wallet. They rely heavily on that one aspect. Well, I got money, so I'm just going to do this. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to send her this. I'm going to send her that. And that's a problem. Game. You don't need money if you got real game. Period. You know what you're doing out there. You know how to talk to women. You don't need money. You got real game. If your game is pimp-tastic, bro, you ain't paying for no meals. You ain't paying for rent. You ain't paying. You can get women to do all that for you. Now, I don't take it to that extreme. I'm not suggesting that. But what I am suggesting is money is a crutch. Looks is a crutch. But game doesn't matter. You got game, you good no matter what you look like. So let's continue.
We'll start off with the looks red pill, because this in fact shares a significant number of similarities with the black pill. For example, it fully agrees with the first 2 pillars, hypergamy and looks. So it believes women only want to date men who are more attractive than themselves. However, the main point that it differs is that it disagrees with the last pillar, inflexibility. People who believe in the looks red pill think that with enough hard work, graft and energy, that you can significantly improve your looks. And
yeah, again, I believe in hypergamy. But I don't agree with the rest of it, like the tenets, like the looks. I just don't. I know way too many dudes who were god awful ugly. They got dimes. You hear me? I'm not talking about, 8s, adjustable 7s. I'm talking about straight 10s, models, movie stars. I know dudes that, like I said, just ugly. And they got that. And they don't have a whole bunch of money either. They have game. Now, there's some dudes out there who just god ugly and they got a ton of money or whatever. Great personalities and whatever. So the money gets them close to the woman, and then the woman sees through everything. It's like, oh man, I really like this guy. You know what I mean? But the guy might be like physically like really tall or like really in shape. So all that stuff kind of plays into each other. You know what I mean? All of it does. Sister Candace, have you heard about limb lengthening? No, I haven't. Men are undergoing surgery to increase their height, thus making them more attractive to women. Thoughts? I think that's stupid. I think that there has to be a downside to that. I mean, I don't even, man. First of all, it sounds painful. You know what I mean? Side effects have to be real side effects. Like, what are they? Are they just going to lengthen your legs? What do they do it at the knees? You know what I mean? They're taking your ligaments how do you graft more bone? Like it sounds crazy. That sounds crazy. Just wow. Last call for insight. What's good, bro? I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays. Good to see you, brother. Sounds like snake oil. Yeah, it sounds like snake oil, man. I mean, I don't know. Unless they're doing something. I don't know how they would do that, Sister Candace. But let's say that the technology does exist. Let's say you can go into a store or a doctor's office and they can, make you 2 or 3 inches taller. Let's say that's a possibility. I wouldn't do it. Just like BBLs. If I were a female, there's no way in hell I'd get a BBL or a breast job for that matter. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Work with what you got. You know what I mean? Do some squats, but I wouldn't do that. It's dangerous when they move that fat around and stuff like that. So many women have lost their lives getting these procedures in these, these faraway lands. So I don't know. I wouldn't do it, love. That's me. That's me, though. And last call for insight. Good to see you, bro. I'm glad you're back, man. I hope all is well with you, bro. I'm going to hit you up, see what's going on. So let's continue.
And the main way they believe this is by improving your body. There is a huge emphasis on going to the gym and improving your physique. So this is the main point, but they will also allude to other things such as improving your hair, your style, fashion, taking care of your grooming, and maybe growing a beard. But the biggest emphasis is on your body. An example of who I believe to be a big proponent of the looks red pill is YouTube self-improvement coach Hamza. And based on his videos, it should be very obvious to see why. In fact, in one of his recent videos, he attempts to provide answers to the question of why men are creepy and how they can stop being creepy. Here is what he had to say.
The higher your...
So, like the Hamza thing, I get where he comes from. I just want to skip over that. The whole looks thing. I mean, I get that. Looks so important. Looks are important on both sides. Like a beautiful woman has tons of options. A handsome man has tons of options. I get that. But beauty fades. It just does. Your body's only going to look a certain way for so long before it starts to droop, even if you stay in shape. You know what I mean? You look at older men like Hollywood guys. Look at the older Hollywood guys who used to be like all ripped up, right? They hit their 50s and 60s and you can look at their chest and it's like, they got the chest of an old man. They're still in shape though. But they got the chest of an old man. Like, and if that's all you are, if that's what you hanging your hat on, you're gonna lose in the long run. Especially if you just out there running rotations, spinning plates, you're gonna lose in the long run. Just like women, right? You got a beautiful young 22-year-old, you know what I mean? 20, 25, 26, 28, 30. It starts to fall off. It starts to fall off, right? So men are looking at the younger versions. So if that's all you're hanging your hat on, you got a problem. Sister Kansas, they can break your femur, tibular, or both to add up to 6 to 10 inches of height to your legs. Check it out on YouTube. Very interesting stuff. I'm definitely going to check it out, man. I would never do it. I mean, but, that's coming from a guy who's 6 feet. I would never do that, though. Brother Doug, I've seen what the miracle of squats can do for women naturally. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Oh, man, squats. Steps, stairs, ooh, my goodness. But yeah, like the people who believe that it's all about looks, that's kind of a trap. That's why I'm not really about that looks thing. So here we go.
So, as shown clearly in that clip, he believes that the main difference between creepiness and attractiveness is your looks, which is very similar to what I and other black pillars believe. However, the main difference between Hamza and myself is that he believes this red line is a passable border. That by improving your appearance, and in particular going to the gym, can help you transition yourself from being creepy to becoming attractive.
I mean, that's a real point right there. You look at it, this is the same man. It looks like this Hamza when he was a young teenager, and that's him now as a grown man. You look at his body, that's a handsome man. That dude's body is together. You can tell he puts a lot of work into his body. What does that mean? He has to watch what he eats. He has to, continuously work out. You know what I mean? Taking supplements and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's hard to maintain that look. So that goes into doing the work. Can any man make his body look better? Absolutely. But you got to do the work. Right? You got to do the work. So, yeah, that's the whole looks thing. I mean, you can make your body look good. Women love that. I know that for a fact. I know when I was playing football, in the what 11th grade. I was in the gym hard, and the girl I was messing with, who had known me since middle school, she would have me take my shirt off at night just so she can, rub my body. She just thought she loved that. She loved that. Same woman would rub my body today, even though I'm pudgy now, whatever. She didn't care, but she really loved a hard body. I will never forget that night. Like, that blew her mind. And then just once I knew that little bit, right, my game got even more amped up. You know what I mean? I'm going out there like a couple years later, I was in the Army. And I'm using that knowledge. So, like I don't believe in the soul look thing. And brother, last call. Been managing my house, got some stuff coming up. Good to see you. Yes, always a pleasure to see you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Always a pleasure. So let's continue.
Now, a lot of you might be questioning, wait, doesn't this actually make sense? Isn't this way of thinking legit? Well, not quite. This transition is only possible if you meet certain criteria. These guys, despite putting hundreds, if not thousands of hours into improving their physique, still wind up in the creepy zone.
Yeah, they wind up in the creepy zone because they don't have no game. Like, this dude up here looks weird. This guy's body looks weird. This guy's way too big, and that steroids there, so he's going to have that roid rage and stuff like that. And this guy is an A-list celebrity. This is an A-list Hollywood actor. So he killing it. You know what I mean? He's killing the game. Simply because you have a nice body doesn't mean that that's it. Like, it's not the end all to be all. You still have to be socially calibrated. You have to know how to deal with people. You know what I mean? You have to be well read, well traveled, right? You have to have stories. What is Andrew? What is the red pill? Like Andrew Tate says this all the time. The one cardinal sin in dealing with women is don't bore them. Don't bore a woman, but you better have some good stories. You better have a little bit of game, man. Know how to keep them occupied with you. And what I mean by that is have them always thinking about you. I get that. Like, if you're mysterious to a woman, man, she's going to be thinking about you, trying to figure it out. What does he do? Does he really do this? Is he really doing that? Man, well, look at him. How is he doing this? So yeah, and this is why I don't believe in that whole look stuff, because that creepy part right there.
Now, I'm not denying that improving your appearance is going to be effective for a lot of men. Don't mishear my words. In fact, don't quote me on this, but I would even go as far to say that for 50% of guys, the best advice out there for transforming your dating life will be getting an 8 out of 10 physique. However, it will by no means work for everyone. In fact,
and those are facts right there. It's like Wheat Waffle and I kind of agree on this. Yo, brother Doug, every time I'm going to skip the gym, the topic of exercise come up. That's right. So don't be skipping the gym, bro. Get in there and make it happen, man. Even if you just go in there and make it a quick 30. Make it a quick 30, but go in there and do something.
I could summarize my entire stance on this issue in just this one clip.
Yeah, so, I mean, it is what it is. The whole looks thing, it's not the end all to be all.
That's what I'm leaning a little over. However, it still misses the target on quite a few points. Now moving over to the status and money red pill, which is probably the most popular out of these three sub-ideologies.
Alright guys, today we're talking about why.
And people are always talking about money and getting on and all that. And they even had the roommates on there for a hot second talking about, getting yourself together.
In common with the black pill, and that is the first pillar of hypergamy. So they still believe that women only date up. However, they no longer...
You notice hypergamy goes across the board. It goes across the board. And a lot of people look at that as like a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I truly believe that hypergamy is a far superior dating strategy than big booty and a smile, which is what guys are doing, just smash anything they can. But there's a lot of downside to that too. There's a lot of downside to that. But I think all men should understand that concept. They should just understand that concept. Brother Doug, I'm doing 2 days, so I'm skipping the gym today, but we'll get some calisthenics in at the park later. There you go, man. Brother Doug's making it happen. He's putting in the work. That's what it boils down to. You got to put in work, fellas. Right? It's when you come to the manosphere and all these different pills, at the end of the day, there's no cheat code, man. There's no cheat code to the Foxy Brown. You're going to have to put in the work. Good looks, money, status, game. There ain't cheat codes, man. these are pillars. You got to have these pillars as a foundation so you can build on that.
I believe that looks is the most important factor, rather status is the most important. This also follows that they believe in flexibility, as any man can put in the work to improve his social circles, his career, earning more money, or reaching high status positions such as becoming a celebrity or maybe a DJ. Now the thing,
I agree with that. But again, this is not the end all to be all. Right? Status, you know what I mean? Your social circles are important because women look at that. If you have a secure social circle, women can look at that and be like, okay, he's not a weirdo. This guy's with powerful people. This is a made man, right? So yes. And can you level up in your social circles? Yes, you can. It's all about networking. Career, right? It's up to you how hard you want to go as far as careers go. Do you need a degree, a college degree to get yourself into a good career that's going to pay you a lot of money? Nope, I'm proof of that. Right? You can have a skill. Right? And they're talking about money, celebrity, DJing, and all that kind of stuff. But no, this is part of building yourself up, making yourself the best possible man you can be. This is how I read this. But there are a lot of guys, again, looking for cheat codes. Well, if I just go out and become a famous DJ, I'm going to be able to get chicks. Yeah, but if you don't have game, you're not going to be able to get the chick you want. And then if the chicks that you're getting, if you don't have money, you're not going to be able to keep her. You're not going to be able to live up to the lifestyle that you sold to her. Well, I'm a DJ. Oh, you got bread like that? Well, let's get on a private jet and go to LA, Mr. DJ. Oh, you can't do that? Well, this guy over here can, so deuces. So you might be able to smash her, but you won't be able to keep her. But let's continue.
the thing with this set of beliefs is, again, sometimes it's on the right lines. However, I do have a number of issues against this way of thinking. Number one, what is the actual chance for your everyday kind of person to be able to get
Dan Bilzerian's a short dude. Right, his dad got a lot of money, and he got his money doing some illegal stuff. Whatever it is, what it is, I ain't judging. You know what I mean? He did his little time, but he was able to keep the money, and he's passed it on to his son. So all these beautiful women want to be around this guy. He keeps his mouth shut. He has the beard. He doesn't really talk too much about himself. He lets the people around him talk him up, and he gets all these chicks. I mean, he has so many women. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But at some point, it's going to run out. You know what I mean? Sister Rouse is in the house. What's good, love? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As I've always say, make a bitch laugh, and you got me. That's hilarious. Yeah, and I'm a comedian, so that's what I do. That's what I do. That's part of the game. That's part of it. But let's continue.
results through status. Like, how many people actually get results from status? We're literally talking about the top 0.1%, which just isn't realistic or achievable by the vast majority of people. But maybe I'm reading their arguments wrong. Maybe they're talking less so about celebrity status and more so local status. So moving up in the world in terms of your career, starting a small business with a few employees, accumulating a lot of resources, both physical and financial, and being a lead figure in one or more social circles.
And all this comes into play, and all these have a role to play in what we're talking about here. But like I said, when I was young, man, I was broke. I'll get me a job at Walmart or Target, you know what I mean? Or get me a job at, I don't know, some little part-time job at some, call center or something like that. There are always women there. So you got that social circle game. And if you got game, you're going to talk, you're going to be able to take them out. They're going to invite you to go do things. Hey, we're all going to go get some coffee. You want to come? Sure, I'll go. You know what I mean? And then you can use other things to help you get wherever you're trying to get. When you're in circles like that, again, it's still numbers. You're going to have to shoot your shot. It's a different type of game. You got to be a little more subtle with said game. But if you know what you're doing, you're going to get you one or two. I worked at this place. It was like a printing company. Before FedEx and all that, there used to be companies that specialized in just, these jobs. When the corporations got rid of their mail rooms and stuff like that, they would hire these companies to do all this print work for them. And I worked at a place like that, and it was this beautiful woman. She was from California, of Filipino descent. Beautiful woman. Every dude in there was trying to get at her. Every dude. I kept to myself. I ain't talked to anybody. I went in there and did my work. It was like this was like my third job. I had my main job, I had my primary job, had a part-time job, and then I would go in here as well. So I went in there, temporary guy. I'm coming in there doing my little 4 or 6 hours, whatever I'm doing. Right. And eventually they all got together. They had a thing one night. This was in Cincinnati. So they had a thing one night, like in Covington or something, at this little club that was on the river or whatever. Went down there. I went down there with my cousin. We down there, man. I see her looking at me. You know what I mean? One too many times. I just go up, holler at her. One thing led to another. I woke up at her house the next morning. You know what I mean? Went down. I never said a word to her at the job. Never said a word. You know what I'm saying? So in that case, my game was just being smart enough not to say anything. I said that before. The best thing you can learn as a young man when it comes to hunting these chicks, bro. And I'm talking about, when I say hunting, I'm talking about you're out there on the hunt trying to get some Foxy Brown, is to keep your mouth shut. I kept my mouth shut. I stayed about my business. All these dudes were clicking up and, you know what I mean, whatever, trying to see who's more, trying to out alpha each other. I wasn't worried about them dudes, man. I was in the streets. I mean, I'm in there. I'm like, that's my little oasis, man. I'm gonna come in here and make these little copies, right? Hope my little pistol don't fall out my back pocket. I used to have my pistol in my waistbands before I was smart enough to know to carry holsters. You know what I mean? Because you never know who's gonna walk up in there. We was downtown. So I'm minding my own business, doing my own thing. Find a chick in there and want to holler at me. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the owners of the business. Everybody was trying to get at her, man. So I'm just saying, bro, status and all that, all this comes into play. Career resources, social circles and all that all comes into play. But none of these are like end all to be alls. And that's the point I'm trying to make.
Now, although this is better sounding, I still have a few issues. Number one is that a lot of the time, your looks is your status. There are countless studies out there that show your status and your ability to achieve status is linked to your looks massively. And this is largely owed to the halo effect, which I've talked about a bunch in my previous videos. So even if the truth was found in achieving social status, it still ends up pointing back to looks and pointing to the black pill.
And this is the thing with people who believe in this black pill stuff, right? They look for these numbers. They look for these, they look for reasons to quit. They look for reasons to justify their shortcomings. At least that's my take on it. Well, look here, 58% of CEOs in America are over 6 feet tall. You know what I mean? Well, 68% of CEOs are over 6 feet tall, and only 15% of Americans are over 6 feet tall. They go find these numbers like, look, there's just no way. The game is rigged against me. I mean, if I felt that way as a young black man in America, I should have just gave up. There's no way in hell I'd have made it here if I thought that way. When you talk about systems being rigged against you, numbers, I could find all the numbers that shows that as a guy coming out of my neighborhood, coming out of my home, is supposed to be dead or in prison by age 32. I could find those. I could find you those numbers. You know what I'm saying? You see, I wasn't looking for excuses. I'm out here trying to get it. I'm out here trying to make it. I understand that it's going to be hard. So what? I'm going to have to work harder. So what? At the end of the day, man, I'm trying to get it, and I managed to get there. So if I were to, this is why I don't like black pill. This is it right here. I just don't like it. Yeah, I agree with the numbers. I'll accept the numbers, but I still think it's bullshit.
My second issue, to do with this one in particular, is that love based on resources isn't genuine. Even if you do reach a high paying job and earn a lot of money, doesn't mean they're actually going to be attracted to you. Chances are they're just going to view you as an ATM. Number 3.
And I can see where he's coming from. I can see that. I can co-sign on that. But if you have game and you understand that you have to vet women and women should be vetting you, you can filter out those women who are after you just for your money. It doesn't take long to catch them. Those women who aren't treating you properly, you got to let them go. I mean, and that's the bottom line. That's how you get around that. So it's like, well, love is based on resources. It ain't genuine. It can be. If you find the right woman, if she's properly vetted and she's really into you, yeah, bro. I done seen chicks who came for money, got with a guy who was paid, and the dude lost his money and she stayed with him. She stayed with him and they shook back. I've seen it. You know what I mean? So I see where they're coming from, but again, it seems to me that this is a reason. This is an excuse to fail. Well, since it's all BS anyway, she's only after me for my money, so I might as well not even try. And still, you get access to the money too, bro.
3, and this is a big one. Your status has nothing to do with your genetics. Why would women care about status if you don't have good genetics? I've spoken about this point too in my previous videos, that status is only relevant if you have the good genetics to back it up. And lastly, number 4, because of the nature of status and how it is achieved, it will likely only help you catch a settler, or in other words, a lower value woman. Here's a...
Again, like, what's wrong with that? If the mission is to get a woman, you want to get the best woman you can, but the mission is to get a woman. The mission is not to get a 10. The mission is not to get a 9. The mission is to get a good woman. So to like, oh, well, she's a settler. She just settled for you. Maybe you settled for her. I mean, that part I don't understand. And I can't co-sign that part. And again, I get where he's coming from. I understand that. But again, to me, it just seems like a victim mentality as opposed to a warrior mentality. You know what I mean? As opposed to, I'm going to go get it. What I'm hearing right here is not airborne. This ain't air. This is some leg shit that I'm hearing right here. And my military people know what I'm talking about.
The clip from a Darius M video, which I believe captures this idea perfectly. I'll let him explain.
You in your teens and 20s, those same women who curved you.
Teens and 20s. I promise you, they're going to be after you.
Yeah, I skipped that part, man, because I mean, you've heard it before. It's they didn't want you when you was, broke and ugly or whatever, but now you done, found your fortune and you looking good. Now they want you. Yeah, now if you've made yourself into something, now they want you. Of course they do. Of course they do. I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Right? Of course they do. But if you got game and you've been paying attention and you know how to vet, go ahead and start that process. Start vetting. Right? Start smashing. Start having fun. Enjoy the fruits of your labor.
This is one of my biggest issues with status. It only matters when it's too late. Ask yourself this question. If a girl is in her 20s, why would she care about a man's status? The majority of younger women aren't concerned whether or not a man has status at that age. Why would they be? They're looking for an alpha Chad at this age. And in fact, this completely coincides.
They're looking for alpha Chads at every age. They want the best they can get at every age. I mean, it's part of it. Adjust your game accordingly. Like, it is what it is. I've come across women in their 50s trying to get the best dude they can get. Right? And these women, I've come across women that have nothing going for me. 50 years old, right? You broke. You can barely take care of yourself. You living with roommates. You need help from other folks just to get through the week. Right. And they will try like the foodie. They will try everything they can to get resources from men because they're still cute and they got a nice body. But that only carries them so far. Why? Because they're old. And they're used to when they were younger. Now, here's a 50-year-old woman trying this, but when she was 20, 25, yeah, dudes were taking care of her. Taking trips, doing this, that, and the third. You see it on Instagram all the time. Attractive older women putting out stories talking about who's going to take me on vacation. I need a break. I'm willing to go, whatever. And it's like, yeah, bro, you willing to go wherever. They understand what that means. Oh, you want to go to Cancun? I'll take you to Cancun. But guess what we doing when we get there with your fine ass? Somebody back getting blown out every single night, right? Every single day. If we going to Cancun and you need me to pay for it, I'm getting something out of it. And that's how most men think. And generally they're talking about Foxy Brown.
With my own personal experiences. The alpha Chads, even if they had the lowest paying, lowest status jobs available, like working at McDonald's, the girls didn't care. Just like that guy, Alex from Target. who had a rubbish paying job and zero status, but still blew up and went viral because of his looks. For men, at least up until the age of 25, their dating life will be almost entirely determined by just three things. LLL, looks, looks, looks. So that's it for the status and money red pill.
All right, we come into the game red pill. I'm real curious to see what he has to say about that. But you know, that whole thing, looks, and all that. Yeah, I mean, dude, it works. If you're a handsome guy, you keep yourself in shape, whatever. Yeah, you can parlay that into something. You definitely gonna have mad chicks coming at you. Absolutely, especially now. These women are so loose, man. They're so fast. They coming up. They want to, city girls. You know what I mean? Hot girl summer and all that kind of stuff. These chicks, they really buying into it. Although the women who are pushing that narrative are all married, happily married at that. They got dudes, you know what I mean? But they're telling everybody else, yeah, go out there, put yourself out there, do OnlyFans and all this kind of stuff. It's all good. Don't do it, ladies. It's a trap. You know what I mean? Fast money comes with slow problems. Shout out to Myron Gaines. He says it all the time, and he ain't lying. That goes for dudes, too. Fast money comes with slow problems. You know what I mean? Look at the former president. He was getting that fast money over the past 6 years. Slow problems done caught up with him. You know what I mean? He done overstepped his bounds one too many times. They coming to see him. Fast money, slow problems, y'all.
A couple of YouTubers who I believe align with this way of thinking include Darius M, who I've already shown, although he does sometimes lean a bit into these two categories as well, and also Richard Cooper. Lastly, now moving over.
Rich Cooper, definitely status, but Rich Cooper, what Wheat Waffles didn't mention is that Rich Cooper is the guy who's all about doing the work. You got to do the work. That's Rich Cooper. Rich Cooper's the guy that tells you, like, man, women wait at the finish line and they smash the winners. That's Rich Cooper, right? His book, Unplugged Alpha, is a good read. He talks about these kind of things. He talks about vetting women. He talks about red flags. He talks about, how the system kind of works today. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, he's absolutely all about status and building yourself up. But, he's not about building yourself up so you can get women. He's about building yourself up and the women will come. And again, that shout out to Myron Gaines, who actually, came up under Rich Cooper. So Myron Gaines was like, yeah, you want to make yourself the best person you possibly can, the best man you can. You want to build up game, frame, and your money game and frame. But you're not doing it to get women. You're doing it, and the results will be women will come. But you have to game yourself up so you know how to deal with the women when they come. So I don't know. Let's watch the game part.
Over to the game red pill. And man oh man, someone help you if what you believe in is mostly this stuff.
Game trumps look.
And that right there is Coach Red Pill. Yeah, he does this thing. I've watched some of his stuff. It is what it is. I hear what he's saying, but I don't really listen to a lot of his stuff. What the things I have heard, I've heard some stuff that makes sense, but I hear a lot of other stuff that doesn't quite balance with me.
Who believe in the game red pill reject all three pillars of the black pill. So they don't believe in hypergamy, and they believe that game is the be-all and end-all of attraction. So no matter how unattractive a guy is, as long as he says the right things at the right time, then he can game his way to attracting any woman. And because of the nature of game, it also follows that they believe in flexibility, as any man can work on and improve.
That ugly dude that he just showed, I know men that are way uglier than that guy. They have game and a little bit of money, and they have dimes. It's like Jay-Z said, man, there's no such thing as an ugly billionaire. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got to do some work. You know what I mean? Like, the guy could do something with his beard or whatever. You got to do some work. I'm not saying go get plastic surgery done or nothing like that. But you got to do some work, wear some hats, put some glasses on. There's some things you can do, you know what I mean, to ease the blow. You know what I mean? If you're like ugly like that. But you do need game. Now, one thing I don't agree with, I think in order to have effective game, you have to understand that you have to agree that hypergamy is a thing. That's the only way it's going to help you adjust your game properly. You have to understand that women want the absolute best. So that part right there, I don't agree with. But let's continue.
his confidence, dominance, social skills, and being alpha. Now, one of YouTube's biggest proponents of the game red pill is this guy, A.G. Hayden. Now,
And Brother Doug is saying Trump is getting out of this just like the fake Russian collusion BS. No, he's not. Not this, bro. No, he's not. The only reason Trump's breathing right now is because he was former president of the United States. The Pentagon has a way of dealing with secrets, man. CIA, Pentagon, like I said, bro, there are people out there that don't exist to deal with this sort of thing. They just don't know what to do with him because he's a former president. And all those other people, like all this information they're getting are coming from people who aren't the president. They're running to the government because they understand how the government works. They understand that, yo, there's somebody's going to come knocking on my door and going to disappear my ass. Trump's not getting out of this one, bro. He's not getting out of this one. If Trump were smart, right, maybe before all this happened, you know what I mean, maybe 6 to 8 months ago, if he were smart, he would have went to Russia or China somewhere and just disappeared and just stayed over there. But he didn't. You know what I mean? He didn't. He went too far on this one, bro. And he's not going to get out of this one. He's not. And it's going to take a whole lot of people down with him. You know what I mean? Like I said, they know where all this stuff is. They knew that these documents were supposed to be there in his office, and they can't. Some of those documents, I bet, are still missing, and that is a serious problem for Donald Trump, man. So I'm just letting you know, bro. This like I said, man, there's people out here gonna deal with that. And Brother Doug is saying Supreme Court is already intervening with the investigation. Okay, like I say, man, this is gonna boil down to stuff that our power lies in our ability to protect secrets. Right, I'm just telling you from what I know in the military, man. The time I spend at Fort Bragg, man, I interacted with these cats, these people that don't exist, these facilities that aren't there. I've been there. There's a certain way we deal with this sort of stuff, man. Like he's really screwed up this time. He really screwed up this time, bro. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. But let's continue. I just got off track for a second. Let's continue.
I honestly can't stand this guy. A couple weeks ago, he made this video. This 1 hour and 40-minute long presentation where he was saying the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of. Like he said, even when he was obese, it didn't affect his chances or results. Now, I'm not going to bother debunking this set of beliefs in this video for 2 reasons. Number 1, this topic deserves a video for itself. And number 2, this guy actually took that 1 hour and 40-minute long video down. But I beg, this guy has the balls to re-upload this video, as it was honestly just ludicrous. But what I will finish the video on is what frustrates me the most about this philosophy and this presentation that he made in particular, is that 90% of his argument is just, I know a guy who has this setback but still gets results. In fact,
and that's funny. That's my argument too. I do know guys. You know what I mean? You look at Fat Joe, man. You look at Big Pun. You look at Notorious B.I.G. Like there are big dudes out there who get it. There's fat dudes that get it, man. DJ Khaled, he getting it. Now, these are, like I said, the 0.01% dudes. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I know guys in the hood who in the hood have mad status, mad money. You know what I'm saying? They the plug. They doing it big. And they were getting chicks. There's always going to be women that run to these kind of guys. You know what I mean? Because it could be the bad boy thing or whatever. It could be the fact that they got tons of disposable cash. You know what I mean? Like Pimp C said, bro, if I told you cocaine numbers, you would think I was lying. These dudes are getting bread. They getting bread. So, and I guess that kind of goes into that money thing, that status money thing. But these dudes that I'm talking about, these guys who are maybe obese, you know what I mean? They're fat, you know what I mean? They might not be that attractive. These dudes, they have game. These dudes understand female nature to an extent, but they are the outliers, man. So I agree with Wheat Waffles in the sense that, like, if you just an average dude, you 5'8", 5'9", you're obese, you're not making any money, you live in your mom's basement, you're ugly. Yeah, you got a problem, bro. That's you got a lot of work to do. Like I said at the top of this one, you got a lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying? And then Brother Doug's like, if he in so much trouble, why no charges yet? They don't want to affect the November elections. He's going to get indicted right after the elections, bro. I'll put $1,000 on that. You want to take that bet? Well, let's make it easy. Let's make it like $50, $20. Let's put $20 on that, bro. I guarantee you he gets indicted after the November elections. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. That's just how sure I am. Man, I wish Vegas would take bets. You know what I mean? I wish Vegas would take bets. He is getting indicted in November. That's definitely what's going to happen. Now, again, is it going to stick and all that kind of stuff? There's a lot going on, but he's getting indicted in November, bro. Ben 10, what's good? What's good with you, man? Long time, bro. For real, long time. How you doing, man? This is for you. Good to see you. Welcome. But we're talking about the different color pills. And then Wheat Waffle kind of he lingered a little bit on this game thing because of this guy. And again, if like I said, if you're a big dude, you have no status, you have no game, you're ugly, you have no money. Yeah, it's gonna be real hard for you. You got work to do. That's the bottom line. You got work to do. It can be done. Or you're gonna be to work yourself into a position where you can get tens. Yeah, if you do the work, you know what I mean. If you do the right work, you get in there. It's a lot of work. But if the mission is just to get yourself a woman, I think you'll be able to get yourself a woman. I think you'll be able to get yourself an average woman, like a 5, maybe a 6. If you do the work, still, it's not an easy task. So we'll watch the last little bit of this and we'll move on.
I don't think not one statistic, piece of evidence, or scientific study was used in this entire 100 minutes of talking. At least the other 3 systems have highly recognisable examples to support their arguments. Like the black pill has Jeremy Meeks. The looks red pill has Ziz, who actually went from some skinny guy to be able to pretty much getting any girl he wanted. And then the status red pill has people like Dan Bilzerian. But for the game red pill, I've never seen any examples like these. Examples of guys who have reached the top 1%, getting several women throwing themselves at these guys for little or no effort.
Yeah, because he ain't talking to the pimptastic dudes. You could throw a lot of rappers in that game part. You could throw a lot of rappers in there. Hell, you could throw Ice-T in there. You know what I mean? I would throw Ice-T in there because Ice-T really took that game, his hustle game, to the highest. Yeah, Ice-T. He went from being, in the streets doing his thing. You know what I mean? Never gang banging, but out there doing this thing, man. Hitting jewelry stores and all that kind of stuff, right? Pimping, all that kind of stuff. And look at him now, A-list celebrity, Hollywood actor. You know what I mean? So I would throw Ice-T in there, and I wouldn't expect Wheat Waffles to know this, man. It's like a different culture where he's over. I believe he's over in the UK somewhere. I know he's tied in. I was talking to Myron about Wheat Waffles, and he was supposed to come do an episode in Miami, but he didn't make it. But Myron said when he does, he's gonna let me know, and I'm gonna make sure I'm down there in the studio because I want to meet the brother, man. He seems pretty cool, like a regular dude. I want to meet him. You know what I mean? Pick his brain a little bit, and by cool, I mean manosphere cool. I want to meet him. I appreciate his work. I appreciate his hustle. You know what I mean? Brother Doug's I'm not a gambler. $20 bet. $20 is on, bro. It's on. $20. Trump gets indicted before the end of November of this year. It is on. Candace M. Men should work on their fitness, job prospects, earning potential, and improve their quality of life. Women will be the byproduct of that success. Yeah, absolutely, Sister Candace. I agree. I agree 100% with that statement. Ice-T said, "Give me a record deal before the record label even heard a song." Yeah, and he did it. Ice-T, game. We're gonna talk about dudes with game. I would throw Ice-T up there, man. That dude ahead of his time. You just look at his story. I can't wait to read his book. I know he's got one coming. You know what I mean? Candace M. Conversely, women should work to improve their fitness, femininity, cooperation, etc., which in turn will attract a higher value male. You see how that kind of works? It comes together. You see how that comes together? I agree wholeheartely. Brother Vikings in the house. What's good, bro? Shout out from the clouds, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? And Brother Doug's I'm betting if he gets convicted. I didn't say he was going to get convicted. I said he was going to get indicted. And then after he gets indicted, they're going to work something out. I'm just trying to figure out what deal can be made. You got to understand, man, they found some of these documents, man, in his clothing. Right? They're still looking for some of these documents. So I'm trying to figure out what deal could be made. Maybe the deal is Trump tells him where he has the rest of these documents, and in exchange for that, you know what I mean, he gets house arrest at Mar-a-Lago or something like that in probation. And of course, a lot of people are going to be they just did this so he can't run again. Man, Trump put himself in this position. Trump's just been making bad moves, man. So I'll still take that bet though, bro. $20 that he gets convicted, and I think it's gonna be a plea bargain. It's gonna be a plea bargain. I don't think he's gonna go into an institution. I don't think they're gonna put an American president into the pen, but I think he's gonna get house arrest. He's gonna have a box on. His Secret Service security team, they're gonna be his jailers now. He's not gonna be able to go anywhere and make any money. You know what I mean? He's gonna be stuck at Mar-a-Lago or wherever he decides to do his, Trump Towers or something like that. That's what I think is going to happen. But I'll take the bet nonetheless, bro. $20. Why not? You're betting he gets convicted. Okay. You're betting he doesn't get convicted. You're betting if he gets convicted. Okay. I say he will get convicted. He's going to get indicted in November and convicted, and he's going to take a deal. So it's never going to go to trial. It's never going to go to court. And Brother Doug, some of the reports are coming back as lies from the media. Hey, bro, you're going to hear all kind of stuff like that, bro. Those documents belong to the United States government. They gave him a year to get those documents up, right? We're talking about some of the most secretive documents this government, our country has. They found them in his crib. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? I don't care what media was saying. It's a wrap. So you're going to hear all kind of stuff, bro. The indictment is coming in November, and he will get convicted, but I think he's going to cop some sort of deal if there's a deal to be made. That's what I think is going to happen. We got $20 on it, bro. We got $20 on it. This is going to be fun. Well, definitely. Now I got a reason to really keep tabs on this thing. And don't disappear on me, Brother Doug, over $20. All you got to do is, by that time, we'll be monetized. You can super chat it in. Hopefully, you'll be like my first super chat. Be like $20. This is going to be fun, bro. So there you go with the pills right there, y'all. So we talk about the red pill, the black pill, the blue pill. And I think that was a really good video. I'm going to pin that in the for the replay. It'll be pinned below so you guys can check out the full video and stuff. That was a really good video, man. Check out Wheat Waffles, man. Like some of his stuff over there. It's definitely black pill. It's definitely black pill. So now the conversation is going to turn towards Andrew Tate and the manosphere and what's going on now. Right. And like I said, Andrew Tate didn't get canceled simply because of the things that he was saying about women and whatnot. And, I think it had more to do with people listening to him, and they're listening to the stuff he's saying about the 1%. They're listening to him about the stuff that they're saying about, like the war, the quote unquote war on masculinity. And Tate's out there saying, no, men need to be men. So there's a couple of things I wanted to share. You know what I mean? And Brother Doug's like, all presidents takes foul. Obama took twice as much. He did, but he did it through the process. Just like all presidents can declassify stuff. You can declassify stuff, but there's a process, right? There's a process, and there are protocols involved with said documents, right? So I get you. Like I said, there are rules, man. They set the rules up. I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not a Trump guy, but I'm not happy that he put himself in this situation. I'm not. I just wonder why he would do such a thing. Like Obama, Clinton, yeah, all the presidents can come back. They'll bring the documents. They work with the archive people. You know what I mean? The National Archive folks. They work that stuff out. If there's a need for additional security at the location where the documents are going to be stored, they do all that. There's a process, bro. And yeah, the president could do that. Like, right now, Bill Clinton or George W. Bush can go to D.C. right now and go look at anything he wants to look at. He's a former president. There's a process, bro. That's all I'm saying. Trump violated this process. Maybe he thought he could. He just didn't understand. But he violated this process, and that's the problem. Now he's going to have to deal with it. And that's what's going on. Like I said, when the feds come see you, bro, it's a problem. The feds don't fuck about. They don't. They got other things to do. So if they come see you, trust me, they've been watching you for a while. They know what they looking for. The feds, I ain't talking about the local cops, and I ain't talking about the state cops and the sheriff's department. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the feds. You don't believe me? Talk to anybody who came from the streets. Talk to anybody in the streets about Trump right now. They're going to say what I'm saying. Dude got a problem. That's what they're going to say. And Trump can't get the best legal attorney. He can't get the best legal defense team because none of them want to deal with him because they know he don't pay. So now he's going into a serious situation, and he got, frickin' Frack representing him. He got a serious problem, bro. Serious problem. And he's already admitted to the crimes that he's committed. just tweeting the information out on his own little platforms and whatnot. Bro, I don't know what that man was thinking. Hey, it is what it is, man. Prison full of people like that making bad decisions. But let's get back to what we were talking about. Andrew Tate. There was an episode of Your Mom's House. And I'm going to pull that up. And there was an episode of Fresh and Fit as well. But what I'm going to show you now are just kind of stuff that people will not clip about Andrew Tate. And I think this is the stuff that really got him banned by the big media. This is the stuff that's scary, I believe, to mainstream media, like social media and the 1%. Because people are listening to Tate. And yeah, he's saying crazy stuff, but he's also saying some things that kind of, you got to pause and think about, like, huh. And I mean, and again, this is just my take on it, y'all. This is just my take on it. Brother Doug, Trump was already cooperating with the archives. This is just a show to stop him from running because the feds are involved in some of the BS. That's why the Supreme Court is getting involved. I don't agree with that, brother Doug, with respect. I don't agree with that. The feds said that he had these top secret SCI documents, which, again, as a military guy, the one thing we do understand is secrecy, right? He had some shit, and they said, we need this. And think about this for a moment, too. Trump's attorneys were like, yes, we were working with the archives people, and we were going to get this stuff back. Then one of his attorneys signed a document saying, we gave you everything we had. An attorney. So that attorney is going to be looking at some time, more than likely. But that attorney's probably already cooperating with the feds, if that's possible, because you got attorney-client privilege or whatever, but that privilege doesn't stand if your attorney is breaking laws. So they said the Trump people said, we don't have this stuff anymore. We don't have it. We gave it back. The archives were like, nah, y'all didn't. They had to go and get the feds involved. The feds don't want nothing to do with this. Then the feds start doing it. Okay, this is what they do. And trust me, the team of people working on this includes the FBI, it includes the CIA, it includes NSA, right? It includes all these, entities because of what the sensitivity of what's being, what they're looking for. So I'm just trying to tell you, bro, like, bleed that if you want. You know what I mean? Just, I take my $20. You can pay me now if you want to, because like I said, all this is finna happen. He's gonna cop to something, right? This ain't going to trial. He's going to cop to something. He went too far. You know what I mean? So and it is what it is. This is not a good thing for America. This is not a good thing for America. This is really putting us in a bad light. There are people out there who are watching closely. We have to do something as America. We can't let this go. We got to do something. Again, this is about national security. This ain't about politics. This guy went too far, bro. You know what I mean? He went too far. This time, he ain't going to get out of it. All that other shit. And think about it. Georgia's still gunning for his ass, and the Southern District of New York is still gunning for his ass. That shit ain't going away. You know what I mean? So it's some things jumping off, man. There's some things jumping off. Sister Candace, since we live in such a gynocentric society, Tate was silenced as to not disrupt or reveal what is really going on with the emasculation of men and the degradation on the nuclear family, in my opinion. I agree with you. That's what we're going to get to. I'm going to show you some stuff to kind of back up what I was thinking, and you can let me know what you were thinking. And then, Brother Doug, why raid, get a compromised judge to sign off when it was already compromised? First of all, bro, it wasn't a raid. They executed a search warrant. Like, that's not a raid. I've seen search warrants be executed a lot. You know what I mean? Some of those search warrants may or may not have been executed on me. I don't know. I'm just saying that was not a raid. A raid is what they did in Waco. Right? That was a raid. Ruby Ridge was a raid. What the FBI did was they were just executing a lawfully signed search warrant. That's all they were doing. And that's all they did. That's all they did. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, bro. You say the case is falling apart. It's not going to fall apart, man. I'm already got your money spent. You know what I mean? That case is not going to fall apart. Trump is going to have to cop a deal. He's going to have to cop a deal, bro. Nothing has stuck to this point. You're right. This is sticking. This ain't going nowhere. He went too far. I don't even know why he took those papers, bro. He went too far. But you'll see. We'll see it play out. But let's talk about what's going on with Andrew, brother Tate. I want you guys to watch this video about, this is from Your Mom's House. This is Brother Segura's podcast. A pretty major podcast, right? Pretty major. And Tate was on there. And this goes to Sister Candace's point. Listen to what Tate said. And in this video right here, and let me know what you guys are thinking.
Serving in the military and stuff like that.
I think that's the biggest mistake a female could possibly make. Why the fuck would you do that?
All right, wait a minute. I just messed up. Let me find. I didn't. Your Mom's House, 5518. My bad. Let me give myself the old.
You big dummy.
For not setting it up right. But here we go. It's set up right. Tate was asked a question about what's going on with masculinity or whatever. You'll hear what he has to say. Check this out.
Makes everybody happier in the long run. It's good for everyone. I don't know how this is even controversial anymore.
Right, but Cobra, might I interject that if women were truly happy doing that for so long, maybe this whole women's lib thing, how did that come about?
That's a psyop from the New World Order. They're deliberately trying to turn women against men. They have to divide the peasants. That's the only way the elites can retain control. They turn the blacks against the whites, the Democrats against the Republicans, the women against the men. It's all a psyop, and they do it purposefully. Listen, a revolution is nothing more than men standing in one place and saying this shit has to change. The reason there's no revolution, despite the absolute tyranny we experience here in the Western world, is because most men aren't allowed out the house because their wife will get mad at them. You have to be home at 10 o'clock. Come home. Yeah. You're not allowed out.
But what about the kids? Should he be home?
Sure, you should be home for your kids. But my point is, you're not going to feel like a king or feel brave enough to go and rebel against the New World Order if you don't even feel in charge of your own house. If you're not a king in your own house, then how are you a king anywhere else, right? And the law is set up in a way in the Western world. Like that. The law is set up in the way in the Western world where men have absolutely zero power. Most men are clinically depressed, working jobs they hate, in sexless marriages, and they know they can't leave because they lose the house and they lose the kids and they lose everything else. So they don't have time to be concerned with anything that's actually happening in the world. They keep us divided and distracted. And empowering females is the easiest way to weaken the will of men. What happened when the Romans conquered the Greeks? The first thing they did was kill all the fighting age males. And we live in a world now where they are deliberately killing the fighting age males. They're killing the spirit, the warrior spirit inside of men. And they're doing that by motivating females and empowering them to the point where they're going to sit there and go, you know what? I'm a feminist. You can't tell me what to do. I'm allowed to go out with my friends. He's just my friend. I'm allowed to sleep at his house and drink vodka. Oh, I only sucked his dick. What's the problem? You know what? Fine, we get a divorce. I'm taking the fucking house. Yeah. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Yep. How do you feel about women serving in the military?
So this kind of stuff right here, right? This is what I'm talking about, y'all. These are dangerous words. If I'm the 1% and I want to run this, if I want to keep you pacified, this is a good way to do it. Think about that. How was this country founded? A bunch of farmers and tailors, right, and cattlemen and blacksmiths were sitting around drinking beer, pissed off about all the taxes they were sending over to England. Right? Taxation without representation. They weren't doing nothing but just giving up their wealth. These men sat around and talked about it like, yo, these ideas started to spread. Right? These guys were like, man, we got to do something, man. We can't stand for this. And that led to what? That led to revolution. Which led to what? That led to the founding of the United States of America. You can't tell me that Tate ain't on to a little bit of something right here. And it ain't just Tate, but he said he's said this more than once. It's a message that he's been getting out there underneath all that other BS. He's been out there talking about she better be sucking something, and he's out there talking about, you know what I mean, it ain't cheating if you're a high value man and this and that, whatever, all that other stuff, whatever. He's saying all that kind of stuff. Okay, whatever. It's whatever. He's very charming. He's entertaining. But did you hear that message? Did you hear that message? And Brother Doug, man, I'm typing and working. Raid, search, you know what I mean. But the thing is, in the media, especially on the right side, on the right side, they keep saying raid. There's a difference between a raid and a properly executed search warrant. Like I said, Waco was a raid. What happened in Mar-a-Lago was a search warrant being executed. That's all. And we'll pick up the Trump stuff later, bro. I like this back and forth. I did a thing on Trump. I know you saw it because you was in the chat. So I'll do some more. I got $20 on this now, so I'm gonna definitely do some more. Candace, Sister Candace said Tate is spitting facts. Yeah, Sister Candace, your thoughts on women in the military, DL, if you care to share. My thoughts on women in the military, cool. If you want to be who, come on. One standard, though. One standard. Right? There are a lot of women who went through airborne school when I went through airborne school, and their standard was different than mine. Bullshit. You know what I mean? It should be one standard. You know what I mean? Do I think women can fight? Yeah, I think they're at a huge disadvantage. If they get into a situation where it's hand to hand, they're at a huge disadvantage. But you just look at history. You know what I mean? The first fighter ace was a Russian fighter pilot, female. First female fighter ace, Russian fighter pilot. You had during World War II, you had Russian snipers, female Russian snipers that were racking up thousands of kills. So, yeah, women can do it. Like, women can absolutely do it. I have no problem with women being in the military. You know what I mean? But the military life is not a feminine life. And it's going to be tough for her to transition when she gets out. And I know a lot of women who have done it. I know women who joined the military and got out and and were able to transition back into being the feminine woman. I have no problem with that. You know what I mean? No problem whatsoever. The military is, especially for those of us who grew up on the other side of the tracks. You know what I mean? You come out the hood. The military is a good way to get out the hood. Join the Army and get yourself a nice career like I did, air traffic control, or you can, combat engineer, or you could be a dental hygienist or whatever. You could get yourself the right career, do 4 years in the United States Army, come out and run that into a good career. I think that's a great plan, especially for those people who don't have the money necessarily and get all of the, right now, United States Navy, $68,000 towards college repayment. It's a bonus. They'll pay up to $68,000 tuition repayment. So you can go to college basically for free once you get out, and they have other bonuses. So no, I have no problem with women being in the military. What are your thoughts on that, Sister Candace? I got no problem whatsoever. Cows and germ doctors handing out head meds like it's candy. Yeah, you got so many people out here, man, just being, not just that, but like you look at what was going on with the supply chain issues, right? And gas prices were out of control, food prices were out of control, all this stuff. You know what didn't go up? Alcohol and drugs. Right? Not prescription drugs. I'm talking about street shit. But alcohol didn't go up. You notice that? Alcohol didn't go up in price. It was hard to find certain brands. I'm a cognac guy. At one point, it was hard to find Hennessy, but I could find other cognacs that were actually cheaper than the Hennessy and was better than the Hennessy. Right? So it's like, did you notice that? And the average cost, like, I don't know what the average cost for a kilo of cocaine is, but the guys on the streets was like, it's not like the price went crazy. The price of drugs was still maintained. On the street, you can still, $20 to still buy you drugs, right? So the price of drugs didn't go up. The price of alcohol didn't go up. They want people to self-medicate, y'all. Everybody is messed up. Wonderful 34s in the house. What's good, bro? But Andrew Tate is saying these things, right? Tate's talking about this. He's not just talking about all this craziness about women can't drive and all this other kind of stuff. He's saying these kind of things. So there was another clip I want to play for you guys, and it was Fresh and Fit. Let me see. And that was 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 12 seconds. Is it already set? Yes, already set. He was talking to a bunch of women here. We're talking about stuff. So, and listen to this. Again, these are messages that Tate has been putting out there underneath all the nonsense. He's been putting these messages out there. Let me pull this up on the screen so you guys can see it. And here we go. Let's see. Let's hit this button. All right. So check this out. Let me know what y'all think. Hold on, Brother Will. He's like, Hennessy, yuck, unless it's XO. Yeah, that's all I drink is XO at the house. They robbing you in the club when you buy some XO, bro. But at home it's XO, man. XO and better. So yeah, but I'm a Hennessy guy, bro. Alcohol is supposed to taste bad. That's a man shit, man. That's alcohol is supposed to taste bad, man. You know what I mean? It's supposed to taste bad. So let's check this out real quick. This is Andrew Tate in an interview, being interviewed by Fresh and Fit. It was after hours, surrounded by a bunch of women. Shout out to Fresh and Fit. Thank y'all so much for letting me rock y'all, rock y'all content, bro. We'll react to it. So here we go.
You know what's amazing? It's so amazing because we talk about body positivity to protect females. Nobody talks about it to protect men.
Yeah,
and it's actually amazing. You nailed it, right? It makes your life harder. And I kind of feel like sometimes if a woman puts on a bit of weight, her friends are so busy giving her body positivity. Let me tell you what happened if I got out of shape. My brother would be like, "What the fuck happened to you, bro? You're a fat fuck. You used to be the man. You were Hercules. Why'd you let it all slip?" And there's nothing wrong with accountability. There's nothing wrong, and it's not fair. What it's not fair to do is to make fun of something that they cannot change. It's not fair to judge someone by their skin color. It's certainly not fair to judge a man by his height, but you all do it. It's not fair.
Which is funny. It's not fair to judge a man by his skin color. Y'all remember this chick right here? This chick right here was calling him a white guy in this very, in the same night. She was going in on him, talking about you a white man, talking about a beauty standard, this, that, and the third. And they had to show her pictures of his dad. And right away, it was like, yeah, Andrew Tate's black. And she shut up for the rest of the night. She shut up. It's perfect. It's perfect that came out. Like, we can't change. I can't change the color of my skin. I can't change the fact that I was born the way I was born, where I was born. I can't change that. But I could bust my ass. I can understand the situation on the ground. I could work my ass off to get where I need to get. Right? So let's continue.
But it is fair to judge somebody by their own personal choices, which they can definitely affect if they so choose.
Correct.
Because that says a lot about their personality as a whole. I'll tell you something that's going to sound crazy. So put it all over the fucking internet, make me go viral. I don't do business with fat fuckers. I'm talking about men. If I sit down with a fat guy, I don't do business with him because I assume he's lazy. I assume he's lazy.
Correct.
I will sit there with him and say, you know what? You're sitting here, you want $7 million of my money, and you can't even hit a fucking treadmill? No, I won't do it. Now, that's my personal choice. It's my money. I get to do whatever I want, right? But my point is, you are a shop front. And what you decide to show to the world is a shop front. I get away with the shit I get away with. Even saying the things I say, it's because I'm big and strong. If I was some little bitch, none of you would be listening to me, right? So that's the...
This is the message that I think got him in trouble. This is the message. He's holding everyone accountable. Women, men. He did it on this show. He held this chick accountable. And he did it in a very gentile manner. She sat there and didn't say another word. But he went in on her and she sat there and was quiet and listened. Say what you want about this chick. Look at her. She is intently listening to everything he is saying.
World. So if you decide as a man, let's forget the woman thing. As a man, I'm going to be fucking morbidly obese. I'm not going to take you seriously in that business meeting. That is your fucking choice. That's your choice.
And he's right. The way you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you...
Right? I mean, and that's just, it is what it is. Make sure I got it all the way to end, and I did. That's just what it is, y'all. Tate was saying these things. The 1% was looking, right? Social media was paying attention. They're watching the trends. And then he landed on the Twitch streamers. He landed on the real soy boys, and that's when it exploded. That's when it exploded, and they were listening. That has to be dangerous. Like, hold on. And there's another video I want to show you guys. It was on Saucecast. Shout out to Valuetainment. They were talking about Andrew Tate. Sterling Cooper was on there. D1 was on there. Trey, the brother from Poor Man's Podcast, was on there. Sister Candace. My husband just got TDY orders, and the second class that called to women him was in admin because she was pregnant. He's seen many pregnancy-slain injuries among enlisted women. My godson is telling me that's what's going on in the Army right now. Women are getting these bonuses. They're getting, these prime assignments. They're getting shit like airborne school and stuff like that. They get in, they don't like it, they get pregnant, they can get out. Right? And a lot of times they're getting out with money and stuff like that. It's not a negative hit. So you got people they're gaming the system. They're gaming the system. They're getting the training, they're getting all that done. And it's like, okay, now it's time for you to pay back. It's time for you to be accountable for what, hold up your end of the deal, lift up your end of the couch, to use a Bill Burr term. And they're like, I'm sorry, I'm pregnant, gotta go, bye. So yeah, I'm seeing that. Man, TDY orders. Wait, where's he going? Got, nice little easy, a quick little tour somewhere, something easy, something nice, like a little mini vacation, or is it a hard TDY tour? I never knew with TDY orders. Whenever we got orders, we knew it was going to be hardcore. Every now and then you get lucky on the mission, just kind of luck out. But we were expecting something hard. And the second class that called to welcome. Oh, that's what I messed up what you said. You was like, and the second class that called to welcome him was in admin because she was pregnant. He's seen many pregnancies, slain injuries among enlisted women. Okay, I should put my glasses on when I start to read. Yeah. But yeah. And it is what it is, man. People game the system. I ain't mad. It's just the military has to do something about that. They just have to do something about it. You know what I mean? How I feel about it, women in the military, yeah, I think they should be in the military. I think there's a place for them, but you got to be hardcore. You're going to be who be who. I ain't mad. You know what I mean? Casual Germ was like 100 was good, brother William. I used to drink Cavassier. I don't like Cavassier VSOP, man. I don't like that. I've never been a fan of Cavassier, but hey, it is what it is. So there's another one I wanted to show you guys. And this would be, let's see, we got that out the way. So what I'm about to show you was on Saucecast, and they were talking to a few brothers. One of the brothers they were talking to, D1, he's a rapper, political guy, teacher, all around cool dude. He's not a red pill guy. He's not a manosphere guy. So they were talking about a bunch of stuff, and he was sitting there like, yeah, agreeing, but he didn't know the terms, none of that stuff. You know what I mean? Uh-oh, my favorite sailors in the house. What's good? Miss Globe Girl. Come in on women in the military. Yeah, I think y'all have a place in the military. That's what's up. I do. There are a lot of people out there who believe that women shouldn't be in the military. I think that's silly. You know what I mean? I believe women could get in there, but my thing is this: don't change standards. Don't change standards, especially when you start talking about, tip of the spear stuff. If you want to be a SEAL, you want to be a Ranger, you want to be airborne, you want to do all that kind of stuff, fine. But there's one standard. You got to meet that standard. And if you can meet that standard, then let's go. You know what I mean? Get some. But if you can't meet that standard, Sister Candace, exactly. My husband has seen the exact same thing at 3 different commands. The men end up overworked, working on their off days, while the women in admin work 8 to 2, Monday through Fridays, then off on weekends. Yeah. And the military can't do much about it because they're not enough eligible candidates out there. They're just not. So they're doing everything they can to get more recruits in there, but it's tough. And then like the Navy, that's not even a hard assignment. I ain't gonna lie. And no shade to y'all, but that's Navy and Air Force is the way to go. You know what I mean? I was just a knucklehead, but Navy and Air Force is the way to go. You know what I mean? Brother Doug, like, I'll take the chief stuff. I ain't mad at you, bro. But if you ever link up with me, bro, I'm gonna get you the good stuff, man. We're gonna get the top shelf because that's how I get down. You know what I mean? Oh, Snuggle T's in the house. What's good? My favorite troll. Puff Puff Pass. Hey, Snuggle, what are you talking about? Puff Puff Pass. We talking about alcohol. You talk about that green, that Kush. Miss Globe Girl to believe that they believe that because they don't understand the military and its range. Right. You're right. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like I said, if it were up to me, 18 years old, everybody, lottie-dottie, everybody would be in the military. 2 years. 2 years mandatory service. Everybody. Fat asses and skinny boys alike. Soy boys and fat people, y'all be in the military. We get you squared away. That's what I would do. And it may come to that. It may well come to that. All right, so you're going to hear this brother talking. He's a rapper. His name is D1. He's on the far right. And again, he's not manosphere. He's not red pill. He's none of that. This dude is a rapper, comes from Louisiana. You know what I mean? Came out of the streets, pulled himself up, went to college, went to LSU, got out of LSU, became a teacher. You know what I mean? Then he became a rapper, and he's a successful rapper. I've never heard his music. I'm going to go listen to some of his music later on. But this brother right here was making some good points. So they were talking about Andrew Tate and what was going on with Tate. Let's give it let me pull this up. I almost did it again. I almost started it without sharing the screen. But let's give it a listen as to what they had to say. This was some good stuff. Shout out to Saucecast. Please go over there, like and subscribe. Valuetainment, check out all their stuff. It's a lot of good gems being dropped over there at Valuetainment. Shout out to Patrick Bet David and the whole team. So check this out.
So my question is this: by me having never seen a piece of his content and seeing that he got unanimously canceled from every social media platform, the major ones, what is the greater agenda here? Was it that his content was speaking about a lot of the same stuff we're speaking about in terms of like masculinity and so that means that what we are saying, and for everyone watching this, is that the greater agenda that's clearly at play here, even if it's not being spoken, is that there's this dynamic shift to where women are being like pushed up by the powers that be to become the dominant forces in society, the leaders of relationships, the leaders in in every sense of the word when you talk about hierarchies and families, and that should scare all of us. Yeah. Because if you're a Christian like me,
I just want to reiterate, this guy's not red pill. This guy's not of the manosphere. This guy hasn't had a RP moment, right? He has curated his own existence. He's doing what he wants to do, and he's doing good at it. He's putting money away. He's making the right moves. He's making sacrifices and things like that. He wants a wife. He's not a guy who's like, believes in exercising options. He doesn't. I just wanted to point that out.
That's unbiblical. You know what I mean? So you're sitting here like, whoa, that's not what's up. You know what I mean? Even if you're not a Christian, just in general, there are so many holes in whatever argument women try to have to say, well, hey, we should be the leaders of society because of this, or we should be the breadwinners inside a family because of this. There's so many holes in that argument because it's like we want to be leaders with an asterisk next to it, except for in all of these different ways. So it's not real leadership. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That should scare people to the point where I think that the word feminist, ultimately that should scare people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, Ms. Globe Girl is asking, but who is pushing women to that level, though? Who is they? We're gonna get to that in a moment. There's more to this little clip right here, and then we're gonna get to that who they is, right? You know what I mean? Brother Doug Dude is speaking facts because that is a part of the WEF agenda. Push more women into leadership. Right. So, we got like this woke culture and all that. But again, we're going to watch a little bit more and you'll see what I mean here in a second.
Yeah. I think that's the word that should scare people instead of like these views. So basically we've reached a point in society where the word traditionalist scares people. Yeah. But the word feminist doesn't scare people.
Well, and they say they're for equality, but the name in and of itself is inherently biased.
There you go.
Feminism. Yeah.
There you go.
That says it there. But people don't pay attention to the financial incentive that they have for this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why you want to prop women up over men, especially if you're a big social media company and women are threatening to not use your social media if this guy isn't gone. It's because women buy things. So like 65% of all the consumer debt, women. When you look at I actually just looked at a study a couple days ago that shows that women are 2 times more responsive to ads shown to them on social media. So they're the ones making all the purchases. So what you have to do is pander to women and tell them that they're right all of the time. Happy, happy, happy. So they keep giving you money. So there's a huge financial incentive for a lot of this stuff. Like you look at feminism and wanting women into the workplace. Mm-hmm. Who benefits from that? Mm-hmm. You got women going into the workplace. That means that's going to stagnate. That's going to stagnate wages because there are more workers. Anything there's more of, it tends
Supply
to be worth
and demand.
less.
Yes,
right.
Of course.
So you have that factor, but then you also have 2 times the people that you can tax.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm. So there's a huge financial incentive, and companies, by and large, have always kind of judged up the pop culture in order for long financial gain. Mm-hmm. Like at Cosmopolitan, the leading journalist of Cosmopolitan literally came out and said word for word verbatim that she was a propagandist. She was paid in the 90s when Cosmopolitan was the most influential magazine for women. She was paid to lie about facts, data, and statistics to promote a more Sex in the City lifestyle. You can literally look that up. Yeah. And it's because it sold more magazines and it made women buy more things that were in the magazines. So the same party going on with the social media stuff.
Trey, you hit the...
So right there, Miss Globe Girl, there it is. There's our tinfoil hat moment right there. We talked about this yesterday. If you watched the episode, I did the episode yesterday pretty late. I did it around 9 o'clock, which is late for me. But the episode was about successful women. Why are so many successful women single? And one of the things we talked about, and it was like a CNN report that I read on there, it's projected that 45% of women who are working women between the ages of 22 and 50, I think it was, will be single by 2030. Will be single. These are women who are getting it. And it kind of goes, and if you go back and watch that episode I did yesterday, it talks about the spending power. Single women spend more money than married women when they talk about going out consuming shit. Single women consume more than married women. And we all agree that women control the purse strings in almost every relationship. It's been that way forever, even before feminism was a thing and all that. Women will always dictate what was being bought and what was being sold. So people, the ads are pointed to, the ads are going after women. So there's the answer to your question right there. And when I saw that, I'm like, you say you can go online and see this yourself. So guess what I did? I went online and I looked for that article. I'm like, I just typed it in there and let's see what comes up. And here it is. See if I can't make this bigger for you guys. This is the Cosmopolitan article that he was referencing. I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller right there. And we'll read this in a second. We'll read that in a second, but there is a motive out there. There is some method to the madness as to why this is a thing. That was a really good episode on Saucecast. Really, it was really, really good. Especially getting a perspective from a guy who knew nothing about the manosphere. The first time he heard the term hypergamy is when he was sitting in the chair on the set. I talked about that as well on the so go back and watch that video, the video I did yesterday about single women, working women being single, successful women being single. It's a problem. Who's making money off of it? Well, Lululemon, the makeup industry is making money off of that as well, and Tesla. You know what I mean? According to CNN, according to the people who track this sort of thing, they're making tons of money. They're like, women are buying cars as much as men now. It's like by 3030, it's supposed to be like that. So there it is right there. Brother Doug, for example, Goldman Sachs, partners of the WEF, World Economic Forum, donated $10 billion to back women for entrepreneurship. Yep. It's part of the Great Reset. Yep, that's also Brother Doug. Miss Globe Girl, the power of women collectively is insane right now, and collectively they are silent when they move. Yeah, but again, we were talking about meds. Like, is it 1 in 3 women are on anxiety medication and stuff like that? Like mind altering meds is something like really high number like that. It's a lot of women who are unhappy. There are a lot of women who are unhappy. And this article we're about to get into about Cosmopolitan maybe has some answers to that. You know what I mean? SF Giant, they want women to work so it would be easier to program their kids. That too. If mommy is at work, who is raising and who's instilling values in your child? Daycare? You know what I mean? So that's, there are some people who take their children to their parents or whatever, but the grandparents are working too. If they're here, they're gone. They might be on vacation somewhere. So who's, everyone was, I took my kids to daycare, you know what I mean? Because mom was working and I was working. That's crazy. And then Brother Doug, I'm disappointed I missed that stream. Yeah, go back and check it out. You know what I mean? Check the replay. It's all good, bro. It was late. Y'all know I don't normally do late stuff. DL, what will be the percentage of single women by 2030? They were saying 45% of the women, of working women, you know what I mean, is 45% of working women are projected to be single by 2030. So it's like almost half of all the single women will be, of the working women will be single, childless. Go back and check that out. It was some good stuff, man. Fresh and Fit is always touting that stat. And I went back, I was like, let me go find out what they're talking about. And that was from a CNN article. And Snuggle T, Cosmopolitan is the same article Kevin Samuels referenced, I think, earlier on in the year. I think, oh, word, I didn't know that. I didn't watch a lot of Kevin Samuels stuff. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kevin. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. It just, you know, you watched, like I watched a few episodes. And I'm like, okay, I get it. It was the same. Like okay, I see what he's doing here. It's the same thing. Like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? I wasn't tripping. But I didn't watch a lot of Kevin Samuels. But I respect what he was doing though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did watch some. Ms. Globe Girl, some women have gotten to a place where they are okay with that. Being single and in some cases childless, I don't think they are unhappy, DL. Some are. And I'm not saying that all of them are unhappy, but we can't dismiss the fact that, according to the medical stats, you know what I mean, there are a lot of women on antidepressant, you know what I mean, anti-anxiety, you know what I mean, depression meds. That's all I'm saying. Now, does one have anything to do with the other? I don't know. But you can see that there's a spike in the meds. So, I want to be clear on that. I'm not trying to say that, women shouldn't work and they should just be, barefoot and pregnant and all that. I'm not saying that's going to guarantee happiness. I'm not saying that. But I am seeing a lot of women out here saying they want men, but they're like, we refuse to settle, right? And that's the Kevin Samuels model. You will see them on there every single night. I want a top tier dude. And that's what I was talking about on that show. So go back and watch that show, Ms. Globe Girl. You might find it interesting. Brother Doug, big corporations are profiting off the division among women and men. If men and women are single, those are entire households that they make a profit off of. Yeah. You got to maintain, each party is maintaining a house. Each party needs a car. Each party needs appliances. Each party has to take vacation. Each party needs credit cards. Just think about that. That's huge. That's money right there. That's money right there. And the fact that women are the majority of consumers, they hold most of the debt. Again, that was in the other video. Y'all definitely want to check that one out. Snuggle T, which is really Snuggle 668, but I call her Snuggle T because she's my favorite troll. Yeah, it seems in your culture, your women get a lot of help from other men who seem to have no remorse for what the men who are not of a certain status have to deal with. So ultimately, it's men's fault. I think what you're talking about is kind of like this whole simp culture thing. Yeah, I could sign off on that a little bit. I think it's on the dudes. Dudes are getting famoosed or whatever. I think it's on the dudes because they just gotta have that, that Foxy Brown. And again, the bottom 80, the average dude, they don't get any attention or sexual access. So when a woman comes along and sees that, they're like, oh. And again, just the video the video I did on working women being single. We played a clip from Aaron Clary, who's a numbers guy, and he was talking about the percentage of women who would even consider being with the average man, not even like below, but an average man. And I think he said it was like 5% or less of single women would even consider being with the average guy as a life partner, which is crazy. It means it's absolutely crazy. I mean, Snuggles, it seems in your culture that women get a lot of help from, I read that. And Brother Doug, for example, if I were married, that's one household with shared expenses versus two single persons. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And that's Kevin Samuels used to say that all the time. That's one of the things, like I said, he would say the same thing almost every night. And I remember he would say that. I'm like, he has a point. He has a point. Ms. Globe Girl, cause and effect, that's all that's happening right now. Yeah, again, we're just seeing it. We're seeing the data. Like it's going to take time to really to get a good, a grasp on what's really going on. But out here in these streets, when I talk to women, I know successful women that are single, you know what I mean? It's like, what's going on? And what I keep hearing, the common thread is, I'm not going to settle. I want my knight in shining armor. I want my Prince Charming. I want that top tier guy. It's like, well, now you're just giving that top tier guy all of the leverage. Same here, DL. I was modding Kevin Samuels' channel. Oh, that's what's up, man. I didn't know that. When he turned into The Godfather, I stopped watching. Same stuff every night. Yeah. I mean, people get comfortable with what they want. I didn't know you were a mod, bro. That means you were with him before he blew up. Shout out to you. Ms. Globe Girl, what sources say women are spiked on meds more than anyone else? Not more than anyone else. They're saying that they're noticing an increase. And I forget, I'll find that for you. but they're noticing an increase across the board. And that was the women increase. There are more dudes on meds too. Like, you know, this whole doctors, whenever you go to the doctor's office, they want to give you a pill. Why? Because they're making money off the pharmaceutical industry, have their hooks in the doctors, and they advertise the stuff on TV. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying it's just like a female thing per se, but it's an alarming trend for females. And a lot of people are saying, well, maybe that's because they're single. There are people out there that say women, they derive their happiness from having children and being a mom. This is just stuff that I've heard. I'm just kind of regurgitating. I haven't read any documentation on it. I don't even, you know what I mean? I don't even know where you would begin to find that. Maybe Pew Research Center or something like that. But I'm going to get into it. I'm going to do some more episodes on this and follow it up. Sister Candace, why are women choosing to assume the masculine burden of performance? I don't know. I was on Black Man Unfiltered last night, one of their shows with Queen. I forget her name, but it was real cool. They had me on the panel, and I asked that question, a variant of that question. And it seems that we're just not teaching women to be feminine, we're teaching women, you got to be an independent woman. You got to be a boss babe. You don't need no man. And this show was particularly, you know, revolving around the black culture. So that's kind of what was going on. Like, you know, women are being, and the women on the panel were all saying like, that's all cap, like that's all BS. And they were saying like, no, you can't, you're going to have to, you know, find your feminine side. You're going to have to learn how to submit, find you a good guy. You know what I mean? You're going to have to learn how to tone it down and all that kind of stuff. Like that has to be retaught. So I thought it was really good. You had a bunch of women on the panel who were like, nah, man, I had problems and I had to learn how to overcome them problems. And once I did that, I found me a good man. Some were talking about from a religious point of view. Some were just from a practical point of view. It was a really good show. I'm glad they had me on there. You know what I mean? And then Sister Miss Globe Girl, like, what is masculine burden of performance? It's hard, you know, and Sister Candace will tell you. Jay Swan's women taking pill mean men shooting up schools. Who's more emotional? Yeah, they both emotional. Yeah, man, dudes going in there wrecking shop like that. Absolutely. It's a good point from Jay Swans. And I see y'all going back and forth in the chat with some good stuff. It gives me an opportunity to catch on or catch up. And then Sister Candace, what's wrong with women of today living like women of the past? Our grandmothers, for instance, housewives, primary caretakers of children, helpmate to a husband, married before carry. Yeah. Yeah, what is wrong with women of today living like the women of the past? I don't know. Brother Roman's in the house. What's good, bro? You know what I'm saying? And Ms. Globe's girl, I do agree that most women want children and it's in our nature to nurture. And when that doesn't happen, it causes a shift or an adjustment, perhaps. Yeah, I mean, there's something there. You know what I mean? Like, again, all the information isn't in. Like, there's something there. And people are studying it. So let's look at this cosmopolitan thing. This Cosmo thing. Right? So this is the woman that he was talking about. This was from the Daily Signal. This was May 26th of 2020. Former Cosmo writer says magazine published feminist lies. Right? So this is the article. So Lander, Wyoming, Sue Ellen Browder wrote fake news before fake news was ever a thing. Except she prefers not to call it that. Not because she's embarrassed to admit she wrote fake news, although she's certainly not proud of it, but because she thinks the term fake news is too vague to understand. Right? Browder, a Cosmopolitan magazine writer for 20 years, describes what she wrote as propaganda. The goal to sell women on the idea that sexual liberation is the path to a single woman's personal fulfillment. Propaganda is very sophisticated, Broward tells the Daily Signal. It's half truth, selected truth, and truth out of context. That's crazy. Propaganda is used not to just sell products, she adds. It's also used to sell ideas. And then it kind of goes into more of her career, who she was, and, you know, how she ended up at Cosmopolitan. Yo, This is the woman right here. She said it right now. She said it. Like, oh, yeah, this is all propaganda. Propaganda. Fake news sounds way less offensive than propaganda, doesn't it? Fake news is something like, oh, it's fake news. Give me the real thing. Whereas propaganda is like, nah, we are trying to change the way you think. And it's just the way that they were using half truths, selected truth, and truth out of context, which is what we're seeing in social media right now. I'm not going to go into the whole article because it was really just about her, you know what I mean, and why she did it and why she felt whatever. But that part right there, you know, she herself called it propaganda. They wanted women to believe that being sexually liberated was the way to go as a single woman, and you're going to be happy. Go get the bag, smash who you want to smash, do you, girl. There are no consequences. This is the path. And then you got people who took this path, and these women are now, they're upset. What's going on? And the woman who was behind all the propaganda feels bad that she put it out there. This woman was married. You know what I mean? She was happily married, working as a writer. Her and her husband worked together. She got pregnant, lost her job, because that's how it was back then. Women had it bad. Oh, you got pregnant, you work for 5 months, and then basically you fired. And that's how she wound up getting on with Cosmopolitan. You know what I mean? But her and her husband worked through all that. She stayed married. You know, but now this, you know what I mean? Hot girl summer, city girls, we up. It's like I said, it's never been easier to get to Foxy Brown in my life. Right now, these young girls are so wild. So wild. It is what it is. And a lot of women are so unhappy. So, Brother Doug, some of the women I graduated college with that are now professionals now would like to be housewives. That's crazy. I mean, men and women live different realities. You know, it makes sense to me, but it's also sad. You know, it's the hypergamy part of it. Women go out there and make, you know, a couple $100,000 a year, and that they can't look at a guy who's making $80 to $100,000 a year. They need a guy that makes as much as them or more. And unfortunately, that's a very, very, very small percentage of men, available men. And they wind up getting famoosed by these dudes because these, you know, dudes like, I already got a wife and kids. I won't mind smashing her though, because she's still fine. So they getting smashed by all these dudes. And it hurts. It has to hurt. I know it hurts. I've been hurt. You know what I'm saying? You got some chick and you think she's into you, you only find out that she's not. You know what I mean? Even with your game, it's part of the vetting process. When you find out, it still hurts. It can. You know what I'm saying? If you're not on top of your emotions, it sure can. Candace M, Sister Candace, like it's called disinformation. Yeah, that's how it works. You know what I mean? The intentional disinformation of false information. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, bro. Brother Jay Swans, it takes a boss man to be with a boss woman. A confident woman will expect nothing less than a strong man. If a man can't handle it, move on. We don't need any more weak offsprings. Well, I wish that was the case, man. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. If he's a strong man, he's only making $80,000 and she's a strong woman and she's making $200,000, she ain't going to talk to him. You know what I mean? It's just, if you can't get, women have to get past that hypergamous stage, somehow push past that. You got to understand, like, all right, let me just run the numbers. It's not that many dudes out there that make this much money, but there are good men out there. And I asked this question on the broadcast last night, like, women, why do they have to make as much or more than you? That if you got the money, why are you worried about money? That's one of the things. You know what I mean? That's one of the things. It's easy to say those things. Like me and Jay Swans, we go back and forth all the time. Like it's different bubbles. It's easy to say that, right? But there are a lot of people out here who are dealing with the situation they ain't quite equipped to deal with. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things. And you got, like we just talked about, it's not even cool to be a man. Anything close to being a man is considered toxic. That's toxic masculinity. All right. But femininity isn't toxic. Okay. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. This is the world in which we are currently in. I don't know the answers. I don't. And, you know, just talking and trying to figure it out as best we can. is cool, but I can tell you what I'm seeing. Yeah, I can report to you what I'm seeing. I go out into the field. I can come back and tell you what I'm seeing out there. I mean, and what I'm seeing is just not good. It's not good. You know what I mean? Brother Doug, unfortunately, the way society is going, weak men are the future. It looks that way. It looks that way. Jay Swans, the ratchet does not equal strength. Right. I mean, it is what it is, bro. We're like the show we did, men versus males. That's a thing. Why is the manosphere so popular among men right now? Why is it? Why are these guys? Why more and more guys are coming? And it's still a very small percentage of what's going on out there, but it's growing. Yeah, all these guys are out here. Even the guys like the dude, the D1 guy, the rapper guy, he's not even part of that. But, you know, his religious views red pills him. He's like, well, yeah, what do you mean? You going to cancel somebody because he's trying to encourage men to be men? You know, he went on to say some other stuff in that interview where he was talking about the LGBTQ community and how tight they are. And even though they don't all 100% agree with everything, but they're so tight that you can't, like he was saying it as a rapper, like you can't say the F word. You know what I mean? Not fuck. He's talking about the other F word. You know what I mean? Talking about a man being soft. You can't say that word. If you do, you get canceled. You know what I mean? But men and women aren't together like that. It's like that, you know, LGBTQ community there, that's a small group, but they carry a lot of power. And he was like, he was saying this, again, this is a guy who's not a red pill. He was like, look, I don't agree with having multiple women. I don't agree with a lot of this stuff that's being said, but I agree with men being leaders of the household, men being earners, men being tough. You know what I mean? I agree with all that. So we should come together as men, and at least we can agree on that and get that message out there, which I thought was great. I didn't want to go too long, so I'm not going to go find that clip. But that was also in that interview, and I'm going to clip that Sozcast interview to the bottom, so y'all can check that out. As a matter of fact, I'll put it in the chat right now. But they were saying some good stuff, man. Copy and then put it here. Let me paste it. There it is right there. I'll put it in the chat if you guys want to go see it. Copy that real quick and save it somewhere because we're coming to the end of this particular show. But they made some really good points. They were talking about some really good things on that podcast. Shout out to Sozcast, man. Shout out to Adam for putting that together. You know what I mean? Jay Swan's brother, money is not the only thing women see. Hey, I agree 100%. Money. Again, this is something that Andrew Tate said. Money is just a qualifier. There are certain women out there. If you got these dudes, right? These low tier dudes who are like, well, I just need money. Man, money is just a qualifier, bro. It's just a qualifier. Money gives you the opportunity to shoot your shot. Because the women you talking about dealing with, the 8s, the 9s, and 10s, and I use them because these bottom tier guys are always, I want a baddie, I want an 8 or 9 and a 10. Those women, they don't care about money per se. They're just used to being treated a certain way. They're used to going out to like having a $2,000-$3,000 dinner and somebody else paying for it. They're used to somebody flying them to Cancun or flying them to Paris. You know what I mean? And not, take a vacation for, an extended weekend or a week or 2 weeks and not have to pay for anything. They're used to people taking them on shopping sprees. Right. And that's what Tate was talking about. He's like, dude, there's not much difference between the guy who has $500,000 in the bank and a guy who has $20 million in the bank, because those dudes can afford that lifestyle. Of course they can afford that dinner. They can afford those trips. Not much difference. What are you going to do? Show your bank account? So you're right. It's not about money per se. It's just women have gotten accustomed to being treated a certain way because of, the simp culture, or these guys who think that money is the end all to be all and that's going to help them out, when all they're doing is they're just losing money, right? They're losing money, and these women are going to get what they want anyway. So money without game don't mean nothing. You're still going to lose money. You're still going to get famoosed. It doesn't matter. And Sister Candace, a man has to lead in order for a woman to be led. Right. You can't be a soft dude. There's too many soft guys out there. There are too many males, not enough men. Right. And this is all part of the things that are going on out here right now, man. Like this is all part of that world right now. We're all trying to figure it out. What is best for the next generation? Why are we giving little boys, drugs to make them sit still? We should turn them boys loose, let them run and play and unsupervised play and be boys. We should be doing that. Why are we drugging our kids before their minds are even developed? Why are we doing that? That doesn't make any sense. I think we should be telling children there is a such thing as winners. Everyone doesn't get a trophy. You want a trophy, you got to do the work. I think we should be telling kids this, right? We should be telling kids life is hard. Relationships are hard. Jay Swans will agree to that for sure. Relationships take work. It's probably going to be the hardest thing you've ever done. Romantic relationships, business relationships, family relationships, all that takes work, man. That shit is hard. You know what I mean? Sister Candace, a man has to give a woman something to submit to. Agreed. And a man can. You know what I mean? There are men out there who have no problem getting the women they want. You know what I mean? Jay Swans, it's not that popular. Most men have never, ever heard of it. And that's why. Why haven't they heard of it? You know what I mean? Brother Doug, hard times create hard men. Hard men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. And the cycle repeats. Absolutely 100% true. You beat me to it, Brother Doug. You beat me to it. I agree 100%. And we're in that cycle. We're in that cycle of weak men creating hard times. We're in that cycle. I don't know where, if it's just the beginning or towards the end, but we're in that cycle where weak men are, because there's nothing but all these weak males out there. This is where we are. This is where we are. You know what I mean? So, man, you beat me to it, bro. I was just about to say that. Jay Swans, yes, certain women look at that, and if you got one of those women, you've already failed, brother. Absolutely. You got to vet them. You got to vet. Again, if your mission is to just smash and move on. But if you got this woman and you thinking, oh, I just want to smash her, but now I think I love her, and she's running you around by the nose like that, you know what I mean? She's not worthy of that treatment, and you take her anyway, man, you get what you deserve, bro. You know what I mean? Sister Candy, I'm sorry. Miss Globe Girl, what? Shopping sprees? Yes, Miss Globe Girl. Shopping sprees. Shopping sprees. These women, there are dudes that'll meet a woman on Instagram, meet up with said woman at the mall. First time he ever put his eyes on her, and he's taking her shopping, getting Gucci, Prada, you know what I'm saying, red bottoms. You know what I mean? This is what's going on. This is what these dudes are doing. There's a video out there somewhere. There was a guy who was dating a girl who was, I think she was 21 or 22 years old, or 22nd birthday or something like that. Takes her to a nice restaurant. You can see her sitting there. He's giving her all these gifts. Then he had a bag. It was like a Gucci bag or Louis Vuitton bag or something like that, like a Louis Vuitton shopping bag, not the bag itself, but, the bag that they will put your products in. And then he dumps the bag. It was $22,000 cash. Right? So whatever her birthday year was, if it was 21 or 22 or however old she was, it was that much money in the bag. And you look at her face, she was just kind of like, And the guy's just standing there. Black dude. You know what I'm saying? With his big chain on and all. I was like, bro, this is what's going on out there. Weak men create hard times. That's where we at. That's where we at. Brother Doug, LOL, not necessarily. Society impacts women as well, because during the Great Depression was hard on everyone. Yep, it was hard on everybody, and that was from Miss Globe Girl. Jay Swans, like I said last night, if you're just trying to smash, then go be a loser and pay for the Foxy Brown. If you want a woman, then work for it. Yeah, I mean, there's room for both. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to go pay for it. You know what I mean? It's like you said before, if you just about smashing, man, tell them whatever. Tell them you're an astronaut. It is what it is. Especially now. Like, you really don't have to pay for it. You can sell them the dream. They're going to buy it and they're going to smash you. It's way easier now, brother, than it was when we was coming up. I'm just here to tell you. I'm not trying to do all that, but it's way easier now. Just go into whatever spot, dress the part, look the role, throw a couple dollars around, like as far as getting drinks and whatnot, buy yourself a bottle. You're going home with something. And gentlemen, I wouldn't take them home. I'd take them to a hotel. But you taking them home, they're going home with you, bro. Because they think they're going to get something. They think they're going to get more money out of you. They think, you know what I'm saying, they're looking at you because they want to run the game, but you running your game. Or you can do what Jay Swan says and you just outright pay a pro. You can do whatever you want to do. Is that. You know what I mean? Jay Swan's facts. That's 110% on both sides. You know what I mean? And brothers, Jay Swan's hard times, soft times, doesn't matter. A true man will always rise to the top. Yes. That's the whole point of that saying. You got soft men in charge making these rules and doing whatever, making hard times. And it's going to take hard men to make good times again. That's the whole purpose of that saying. It's something we've seen throughout history over and over and over again. The cycle repeats itself. Right? You look at Hoover and what was going on back in the day, man, which led to the Great Depression and all that, Hoovervilles and all that kind of stuff. You look at that. And that gave way to what? FDR. You know what I mean? You want to talk about a hard man? This dude, half his body didn't work, but he was still a great leader, and he led America through some of the darkest times America has ever faced. You know what I mean? Look where we are now. Just by looking at presidents. Look where we are now. By leadership. You know what I mean? Printing money like it's going out of style. Now we're dealing with this inflation. Look where we are now. You know what I mean? And it's going to take men to dig us out the situation. You know what I mean? So one way or the other, men are coming back. You know what I mean? One way or the other, it's going to happen. Miss Globe Girl, that's an argument between a certain type of man and a certain type of woman, not the norm. I hear you. You know what I mean? Snuggle T, what type of job did this young man have to be giving $22,000 to someone? I don't know. He might have been a hustler. He might have been in IT. I don't know. People out there getting bread, though. They getting bread, love. They getting it. And they just wasting it. I know when I was coming up in the 90s, man, I keep saying it. If I told you cocaine numbers, you would think I was lying. These dudes out there was getting bread. There was guys out there getting $25,000, $35,000, $40,000 a day, and they wasn't even Mr. Big. You hear what I'm saying? The plugs, millions of dollars a month. Millions of dollars. The supplier, the guy who was getting it from the Colombians or the Mexicans, that guy, millions of dollars a month. If I told you cocaine numbers, you would think I was lying. For real. The rest of that line goes, young niggas 22 talking about they retiring. That's how much money they was making. Shout out to Pimp C, Underground Kings. Rest in greatness, Pimp C. So I'm just saying the money is there. You know what I mean? That's not a thing. It's just what people are doing. You're just going to give the money away to folks who don't earn it, that don't deserve it, that aren't worthy. And it sets the stage. It just sets the stage. Brother Jay Swan, brother, it's way easier to be a boy throwing money around, pretending to be your boss and chasing chicken heads. It is, especially when you got the money. It's way easier. But at the end of the day, he's going to be unhappy and unfulfilled. And whatever woman, she's going to be unhappy and unfulfilled. Like you see, again, it all spirals down to it. I'm not saying strive to be that guy. I'm just using it as an example. And I'm going to find that it's on, I forget the name of the brother with the young kid with the dark beard who was like really down with Kevin Samuels. Brother Doug, who was the guy? Is it man something? He has a really good beard. I think he lives in Vegas. He was really close to Kevin Samuels, and then Kevin Samuels passed. The young brother had discovered he had cancer and kind of beat that as a what's the name of that guy? But it was on his platform that I saw this. I'll find it and I'll do a thing on it because it blew my mind. I'm still thinking about it. Like, this dude just gave her all his money, cash money, on top of the other. He gave her a bunch of jewelry and stuff like that already. Just the look on this young woman's face said it all. Like, what the hell? What is this dude thinking? That shit was crazy. But yeah, it was a chicken head. That's what he gets. And Miss Globe Girl, 23-year-old rapper. That's who the kid was. Oh, he was a rapper. Okay, I didn't know that. I just know he wasted all that bread. MTR, that's him. Thanks, Brother Doug. That's him. Yep. It was MCR. It's on his platform. I saw it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like, holy shit. And then Miss Globe Girl, a real man knows what 22,000 is and can do what it is and can do, and it's not for jewelry and a bag. Yeah. Right. So a real man knows what $22,000 is and what it can do, and it's not for jewelry and a bag. You're right. It was a complete waste of money. I agree with you wholeheartedly. $22,000, man. That could have been down payment on like 2, maybe 3 buildings, depending on where you are in America. Could have bought yourself like 2 or 3 fourplexes with the down payment, using $22,000 as the down payment on each, and the bank will finance the rest, and you get instant cash flow right off rip. It's crazy, but you're gonna just give that money away to some chick who's gonna go blow it on whatever. She probably turn around and get that money to the dude that she really likes. Right? Mediocre tutorial and reviews. Yep. Thanks, brother Doug. I knew you would know that guy. He's like a big YouTuber, man. He's tearing it up. But I saw it on his platform. It blew me away. So that's it, y'all. I've been talking for a long time. We've been on here for 2 hours and 25 minutes. I love that. Thanks for rocking out with me. You know what I mean? We threw a lot out there. I don't know where we're going to go, but, something's going to give. Something's going to change. You know what I mean? So we talked about all the different pills. We talked a little bit about Andrew Tate. We talked about what's going on with our social dynamic with respect to women. We asked the question, why are so many successful women single these days? We talked about that projection by 2030. 45% of working women ages 22 to 50 will be single. That's the projection that's currently out there. We talked about a lot. We talked about the whys, the if, the ands, the therefores. We talked about a lot. I really enjoyed talking to y'all. You know what I mean? Because this is the kind of stuff that we got to talk about. You know what I mean? Brother Jay Swans, any boy can smash a hoe. It takes a real man to find and keep a real woman. That it takes 2 strong people to become that boss couple everyone is jealous of. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I ain't never did it. Jay Swans knows what he's talking about because that's what he's in. You know what I mean? But that's certainly not the norm these days. That's certainly not the norm. You just look at the divorce rates for that. You know what I mean? Almost 50% of marriages end in divorce, almost. You know what I mean? And of those who are left, those aren't even happy marriages. So I'm so proud of Jay Swans and his wife, my sister. I'm so proud of them. You know what I mean? I look on them all the time, and I know it can be done because I see it. I see how it works. But what people don't realize is how much work it took and how much work it takes to maintain. It ain't like it's easy. It ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, there's a lack of leadership out here in these streets. So maybe, just maybe, we might be able to save some of these young dudes out here. Some dudes thinking about giving $22,000 to his, 3 or 4 girlfriend. Even in the video, man, like her breasts were almost hanging out. Like she didn't even have the class to cover up. Right? She's in the video. He's dropping the money. She's steady pulling up on her thing. This is the world we live in, people. This is the world we live in. Jay Swans, you can see my boy. You can see my boy's money, but you can feel a man's money. Oh, you can see a boy's money, but you can feel a man's money. Oh, here's what it is. I'm with you, bro. I mean, I think there needs to be a resurgence of men. We need to help these young males become men. We need to help some of these old males become men. Right? These dudes got to get out there. They got to get out their emotions. This stuff needs to be taught. This is what we need to be doing. This is what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? Snuggle T dropped the link. Well, if I drop the link, Snuggle T, you're going to jump on? Because I'm about to end this. If you're going to jump on, Snuggle T, I will drop the link. Because I got another 30 minutes before I got to get going. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even Miss Globe Girl's like, what? Drop the link. We at the end. You know what I mean? They divorce because folks are lazy and they don't want to put in the work. Yes. Because they don't realize how much work it is. Agreed. Absolutely agree. It's tough. Everybody wants the easy work. They want the cheat code. You know what I mean? Just give me a pill. Just give me a pill. Fix me. All right? Fix me. Make it easy. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go through that. I like it. I love it. I want more of it. Make it hurt, drill sergeant. Make it hurt. They didn't go through that. You know what I mean? They didn't build themselves up, man. They didn't go through 2 days, bro. They didn't do all that, man. They didn't put in the work like you did on the court, on the football field, right? You know what I mean? On the PT field. They didn't do all that. They didn't do all that, man. It takes work. Snuggle Team, Miss Globe Girl, how are you doing this morning? It's always wonderful to see you conversing in the chat. I hope you go on the panel when he drops the link. I ain't dropping no link, Snuggle T. Sound like you ain't going on there. Me and Miss Globe Girl, we got an understanding. She gonna get up here when she ready. Hayoga 33 was good. You know what I mean? Brandon all the way. Selling the sizzle and not the steak. Yeah. Selling the sizzle and not the steak. You know what I mean? Sister Candace, once the mans do become men, will a woman even be there waiting? There's brand new women every day. Someone's turning 18. You know what I mean? And women appreciate men. Absolutely. There will be. But we need to work on men, and at the same time, ladies, y'all need to be working on these young girls, helping these young girls become women. It's a two-pronged attack. Can't have one without the other. We need women to understand be able to identify a good man. And we need males in the vetting process. Best believe when my daughter wants to date somebody, I'm going to be involved in that process. Just for a date. We ain't talking about getting married. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be involved in that process. That's stuff we got to do. Jay Swans, remember, brothers, if you can't buy 3, don't buy 1. That's how a man handles money, right? If you don't have enough money to buy 3 of them, don't buy 1 of them. Get your money up. You're right, Brother Doug. Snuggle T doing her thing. Snuggle T doing her thing. I ain't mad at her. Well, I guess when he drops the link, we will see each other up on the panel, Ms. Globe Girl. Cannot wait to have the discussion with you in real time. Keep up the good work. It ain't going to happen today, Snuggle T, because I got to go. You know what I mean? It's just the end of the show. But next time you pop on, as soon as I see you, I'm going to drop the link. I don't care what I'm talking about, and we'll see what you have to say. We can talk about anything you want to talk about, too. It's going to be like Snuggle Tea time. You know what I mean? Sister Candace, women are becoming the men they want to attract. Yeah, they're becoming the men they want to marry. Shout out to Rollo Tomasi. That's why I asked, will they even be waiting there for a man? There's going to be a cutoff. There are going to be those who just kind of doing what they're doing now, and maybe they won't be. But the young ones will be raised up right. You know what I mean? So it's just like I said, every year there are women turning 18. They're brand new women every year. Brand new young males every year turning 18. Act Ozzy, what's good? Facts DL, best way to protect a sheep from a fox is with a guard dog. Yeah, from a fox is with a guard dog. Absolutely. Or a shotgun. You know what I mean? Or a shotgun or a nice fence. But there are ways to do it. You got to be there. So look, y'all, I got to go. This is we've reached the end. Thank y'all so much for the engagement. This was a good topic. We're definitely going to come back to it. Thank you everybody who was in here. Brother Doug, Act Ozzy, Sister Candace, Miss Globe Girl, Snuggle T was in the house, Jay Swans, everybody else that was in here. We had so many. Hayoka came in towards the end. We had so many that came in today. I appreciate it, y'all. I really, really, really do. If I miss your name, don't hold it against me. It's just because we're getting more and more people. It's getting harder. Brother Roman popped in. It's getting harder for me to keep track of who was in here. Wow, that's what's up. So thank y'all so much for coming in here. This was a good talk. I appreciate it, man. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. I will talk to y'all later. Don't forget, 6:00 tonight, we're going to be talking about what happened in Ohio, a horrible case of one-itis. And Sister Candace, this show is for you. This is what you wanted to see, so we brought it to you. 6:00 tonight, right here. Don't be late. We'll see you. I'm DL Saint. This is DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast, man. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.